Scruffy, get back, you flea-infested mongrel. Gonna tell myself I man no get angry.
Hey, yeah.
280 cows calling them canine. Hey, but they tell me, hey man, start up the party. You put a woman in front and a man behind. I heard a woman shout out,
who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Welcome into the Bulldog Student Sports Network. We are live from the Humphrey Coliseum on the campus of Mississippi State University for a sort of homecoming tonight. It's the last game of the regular season at home for Mississippi State, playing the #1 Texas Longhorns. And Vic Schaefer and his daughter Blair Schaefer is also on staff, is coming back into town. First time that Vic Schaefer has played against Mississippi State since he left not too long ago. I am with Connor Davis, who will be my color commentator today, and Zach Sizemore is our producer as well. He will come on and talk with me at halftime and during the post game, but we'll kind of introduce the ball game today. It's the first time, like I mentioned, that Vic Schaefer has come back to Mississippi State since he left to take the Texas job. And, Vic Schaefer built this Mississippi State program. It was not anywhere after he took over for Sharon Fanning Otis. It wasn't any sort of remarkable program by any means, but Vic Schaefer made it one of the premier women's college basketball programs in the country. He led, in his tenure, he led Mississippi State to 5 NCAA tournaments, 4 Sweet 16 appearances, 3 Elite 8 appearances, 2 Final Fours, 2 national championship appearances. We lost back-to-back years in those 2 national champ appearances. He also took us to 2 SEC titles overall during the season and 1 SEC tournament title. He is one of the most successful coaches. He is the most successful coach in Mississippi State women's basketball history. That is all time. When it's all said and done, Vic Schaefer will be a coach that Mississippi State women's basketball fans are going to point at and say he helped build this program. But the program kind of went into a little rut, a little bit of a divot after Vic Schaefer left, and it's now Sam Purcell's turn to build the program back up. Connor, how is Sam Purcell trying to build this program back up?
Man, you talk about this matchup, and it kind of feels like it's been planned. The last home game for the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and now we're looking at an old head coach coming back to Humphrey Coliseum, and now he's the #1 ranked Texas instead of the #1 ranked Bulldogs like we were used to seeing not too long ago. But Purcell, you talk about it's dying, but really under Purcell, it's thriving, Ty. He is the fastest Mississippi State women's basketball head coach to reach 50 wins. He did that in 73 games, Ty. You know who had that record before him? Let's look back at that basketball court. He's standing on it. It's Vic Schaefer. He was the second fastest now. He did that in 81 games. Sam Purcell beat him to the jump with 73. Now he's the first coach to play in an NCAA tourney in the first 2 years of his tenure at Mississippi State. This is Sam Purcell. And for Purcell, he beat another record, Ty. Let's keep talking about it. Schaefer, he had 5 SEC wins in his debut season with the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Purcell about doubled it with 9. So now you're talking about greatness that Vic Schaefer led here. Purcell is chasing it, but I don't know if he's necessarily chasing it, Ty. He's right there, and he's trying to grab it. Let's talk about these programs over the last 10 years. In the last 10 seasons, the most wins, obviously, in the conference come from South Carolina, the powerhouse we have seen the past 10 years. Number 2 is Texas with 259 wins, but number 3 is Mississippi State with 256. They're right on Texas's tail, and Sam Purcell, if he can keep chasing greatness and beat Vic Schaefer today, I'm going to say he grabbed greatness, Ty.
Yeah, it would be a huge win. It'd be the first win over an AP #1 opponent since Mississippi State broke the streak in that Final Four game against UConn and defeated Genio Auriemma and the UConn Huskies way back when. But so now we move into the game at hand today and what Mississippi State can do to have success today. We look at Texas Texas is quite the ball club, the number one team in the country, and for good reason. They are an excellent defensive team, one of the best in the country. In terms of scoring defense, they're 21st in the nation, but first in the SEC. In terms of turnover margin, they're fifth in the nation and first in the SEC. So when you look at it, they force a lot of turnovers, right? That's obvious. Vic Schaefer always had great defenses here at Mississippi State. That was the Bulldogs' really bread and butter. And then you look at the last game against Georgia. They forced 25 turnovers, and Georgia only scored 26 points in that game. And Florida, or excuse me, not Florida, Texas rather. I'm thinking about the State and Florida game from a couple weeks ago. But they forced it was 30 points off turnovers for Texas against Georgia. So they absolutely dominated Georgia. You don't see a conference game that goes like that. Talk about how State can attack this defense. That's one of the best in the country and probably the best in the SEC. How can State attack this defense and have some success tonight?
Well, you talk about turnovers, Ty, and I want to cover that Florida game not too long ago. 25 turnovers. That is State's season high for a game against Florida. But you look at the other side, and it's 22. State's defense, it's dominating. I mean, they can force turnovers when need be. You look at that 25, and that number's scary. But you also look at Florida's 22, and you're saying, well, we're doing something right, and that's defense. Another thing that State does right, they can get boards, Ty. The rebound game is strong for Mississippi State, and with second chance points, I think you can beat this Texas team, but you have to limit your turnovers. If this Texas team can take advantage, and we see a number like 25 again, the score's not going to be 66-69 Florida. It might be a lot more because Vic Schaefer's back, and he's back for blood.
So, you talk about Mississippi State's defense. I thought last week, the last game State played against A&M, they forced 17 turnovers against Texas A&M. And generally, and like you said, they gave 22 turnovers, or forced 22 turnovers to Florida. So this defense generally does pretty well. I think, I'm not... It's not, in terms of scoring defense, it might not be the best, but I agree with you. I think it's a defense that does thrive a lot, and that does come from State doing well on the boards. I think State does a really fantastic job on the boards, and the stats prove it. They're one of the best in the country and one of the best in the SEC. But, yeah, the turnovers, I mean, State is 209th in the land in turnovers per game on the offensive side, and they're 12th in the Southeastern Conference. This is a team that struggles with turnovers. If you look back at the season, because we're so far into it now, we only got 2 games left. If you look back, right, you can blame the turnovers. Isn't that right? Because it seems like every game that we play or every game that we lose, it's because we've turned the ball over so much. Against Tennessee, right? We had about 20 or so turnovers, and Tennessee had like 30 or so points off of turnovers. So, you're definitely right with that, Connor. State has got to protect the basketball tonight.
Well, you talk about kind of powerhouses you've seen before on this team. You played a 20-ranked Alabama team and a number 7 LSU team, and neither of those games went the way you wanted to. And you had 19 turnovers against LSU, but you had 16 on the LSU side. You have to keep that difference and that gap larger than just 3. You have to win the turnover battle today against Texas. We're harping on it because it has to happen. The turnovers are State's kryptonite, and the only way to get over that hump, you said it best, Ty, you got 2 games left before the tournament. You got to start sometime getting better before the tournament. It starts today against Vic Schaefer.
Well, I mean, if you want to get off the bubble, the Bulldogs, I believe, are on the bubble right now for the NCAA tournament. If you want to get off the bubble, this game would certainly lift you off the bubble, and it would probably put you as a lock in the NCAA tournament. I mean, I couldn't see why not. I mean, there's not a lot of teams that are unranked that upset the number 1 overall team in the country. This is a premier opportunity for Mississippi State today, and hopefully the Bulldogs can pull it out. We are going to take just a short break, and then we'll bring the starting lineups here in just a second. But you're listening to Mississippi State women's basketball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
A doggy is nothing if he don't have a bone. Oh, doggy, hold your bone. Oh, doggy, hold it. A doggy is nothing if he don't have a bone. Oh, doggy, hold your bone. Oh, doggy, hold it.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
I see the dance people had a ball cause Billy Fountains get out. Get back, Gruffy. Bash, Gruffy.
We are back on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. It is Mississippi State women's basketball versus the University of Texas. We've got some starting lineups for you. I'll give you Texas. I'll let Connor give us the Mississippi State starting lineup. So for Texas, we have at guard 3 guards starting. Rory Harmon is going to start for Texas, the excellent player, really an all-around basketball player. Shay Holly will start as well. It'll be Jackalingam Winintana, who will also get the start. And then the star in front of Taylor Jones will also play. But the star of the evening will be Madison Booker, who is a native of Ridgeland, Mississippi from Germantown High School. She will get the start today, one of the premier players in the country.
All right, so Mississippi State starting lineup. You got point guard, the facilitator, Denon DeShields, Jerkayla Jordan at the 2, Chandler Prater at the 3, Debrecia Poe at the 4, and Medina Okot at the 5, running at the center.
Appreciate that, Connor.
Yes,
We
sir.
are almost ready, and tip-off is won by Mississippi State. It'll be DeShields with the basketball. Debrecia Poe now with it, deep on the left side. Now she gives it Medina Okot, right wing. 18 on the shot clock. Now handoff Chandler Prater, top of the key, driving left side. She has a lane, misses the layup, too strong. Rebound Texas. Ball knocked away, though, by Medina Okot. A couple of Bulldogs and Horns on the floor, but it's going to be jump ball. Texas have the arrow as Mississippi State just won the jump ball. So Texas with the possession arrow. It'll be Texas basketball.
The jump ball came quick, Ty, and you're thinking you want that possession arrow to be yours as quick as possible, so I'm not going to look at it as a bad thing. We got the possession arrow back. Let's keep doing business.
Just a little too hard on the drive there was Prater. Just couldn't quite get the shot to go. She had the lane, just couldn't get it to go. Harmon is going to bring it up the floor for the Longhorns. Under 9.5 to play now, just over 30 seconds. Harmon with it on the left wing. She'll get a screen from Booker. Now kicks it over. And now they got it on the elbow now inside the corner to Holly now on the block, and now back out to Holly in the right corner. Holly now to Booker. They kick it out. Top of the key. It'll be Harmon. 3 ball up. No good. Rebound Mississippi State. Chandler Prater. Debrecia Poe catches the basketball in the front court, and State will go to work. The right wing, she picked up her dribble. Now I'll get it into Okot. Okot trying to get inside the paint. She does, but she's fouled as she attempts a shot.
That's smart basketball right there by Okot. She felt herself taking more than 2 steps. Right before she took that third, she went up for a shot and drew a foul. It's perfect. Now she's at the charity stripe to shoot 2.
So Okot shoot 2. She makes the first. Okot has been really good for Mississippi State this year, almost averaging a double-double. If you rounded it up, she'd be averaging 11 and 10 a ball game. So she's been really good. She reminds me, I say this all the time, reminds me a lot of a former Bulldog that Vic Schaefer coached, Tierra McCowan.
I knew you were going to pull that one, Ty.
Okot drains both, and Mississippi State has the lead over the number 1 Longhorns. Ball into Harmon. Harmon floats it way down court to Holly. And now back to Harmon. Texas will get settled with the offense. Now they give it to Winintanda. Now back to, they get it all the way to Booker in the right side short corner. Her shot far. Rebound, though, Winintanda. She'll kick out Holly. Now to Harmon. Harmon with the basketball just inside the three-point line. She gets it over to Winintanda. Now to Harmon. 11 on the shot clock. Harmon with it, top of the key, kicks over to Winintanda, just outside the left elbow. Now to Booker. Good defense by State, but Harmon is sort of open. She'll take a jump shot inside the three-point line, and it won't fall. That one's short, and Prater will bring it up the floor. She kicks it over to DeShields. DeShields in the corner to Poe. And they go inside to Okot, and that's a turnover for Mississippi State. Ball just out of the reach of Medina Okot.
That's turnover 1, Ty. People say they not counting, but I'm going to be counting this game to make sure we under that threshold.
Most definitely will be important for State today. Avoid the turnovers, and you might have a good shot at winning this thing. Harmon with it, the point guard. Adam Winnintada, now back to Harmon, now over to Holly on the right wing. They get it to Madison Booker. Low block, goes up, shot short, rebounded. That ball going around. It's going to be out on Mississippi State. The ball was rebounded by Debrecia Poe, but as soon as she corralled the rebound, her foot was out of bounds on the baseline.
You know, if she had maroon shoes on, Ty, it would have blended in perfectly, and we wouldn't have called a turnover.
Harmon will trigger the inbound on the baseline. She'll kick corner. Madison Booker. The shot goes in, but it's going to be a foul on the inside on Texas, I believe, and an offensive foul.
Hey, ball don't lie.
So, ball don't lie. What would it lie about? So, State will have the ball. Actually, she stepped out of bounds, I believe. She was out of bounds, Booker was. So, State kind of catches a break as she made the shot. They get the inbound into DeShields, and she'll bring it up the floor. It actually went into Okot, and then she got it back to DeShields. DeShields, meanwhile, will drive and is fouled on the floor on a reach-in.
We talk about her being the facilitator of this offense, and that's exactly what she tried to do right there. Drive in, draw a foul, and we're going to start from square one with this Mississippi State offense.
Jordan Lee going to check into the game, the freshman. She'll check in for Holly. State with the ball now with Poe deep right wing. And Poe will dribble to the left elbow. Now gives it to Jordan. Jordan, a fading shot at the free throw line is bricked, but she's fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot two. That was a wild shot from Jerkayla Jordan, but she was able to draw the foul, and she'll go to the line. State with a chance to make two more free throws and extend their 2-0 lead.
I think she was playing a little Kobe fadeaway game right there. I think she was trying to make it in. I mean, this is the Gillum Award finalist right here, right in front of our eyes, the best women's basketball player in the country.
So 3-0 the score. Jerkayla Jordan hits the first free throw, 7:36 to play in the first quarter. State has done a good job defensively against the Longhorns, not allowing a point yet. Jordan sinks a second, 4-0 MSU over number 1 Texas.
And we talked about that, right? The defense.
Harmon with the basketball for Texas at the top of the key. Now she'll kick it over to Lee. Lee gets it to Booker, guarded by Jerkayla Jordan, now guarded by Poe. Now back over to Lee, now to Harmon on the right wing. Harmon looking for Booker. Booker will drive left elbow, kick out Lee. Left wing three in front of Purcell. No good, but rebounded by Texas. Harmon with it. Guarded by Prater. Harmon trying to dribble drive. She'll pull up just left of the left elbow, and it'll fall for the first points of the evening for Texas.
The rotation's beautiful when the ball bounces a couple times on the rim and still goes in.
Shields inbounds it to Prater, and then Prater will kick it back to her. State will bring it up the floor. 6:50 to play, 4-2 MSU over Texas. DeShields with it. Looks inside to Okot. She had Jones beat inside but missed the layup, and it's a rebound for Texas. Harmon brings it up the floor for the Longhorns. She fakes a pass. I thought that was a walk. They don't call it. She gives it back to Harmon. Now back to Booker in the corner. Booker kicks cross court to Lee. Lee looking inside for Jones. Good defense by Debrecia Poe. Lee kicks it over to Winnintada, now to Harmon. Harmon top of the key. 7 seconds on the shot clock. 5 on the shot clock. Harmon still with it. Driving left side short corner. Blocked by Jerkayla Jordan, and the crowd erupts here, and so does the bench. 3 on the shot clock for Texas.
You know what I got to do when Jerkayla Jordan makes a good play? I got to put my inner announcer on and go, Jerkayla Jordan with the block.
Is that an Anthony Craven?
Yeah, it was. I'm not as good as Mr. Anthony now.
You tried.
That's right.
You tried. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
All that matters.
Yeah.
So 3 on the shot clock. Texas will inbound it, and it's stolen away by Mississippi State. Destiny McFall, newly checked in the game, brings it up on the fast break. Kick over to Jordan. Her shot no good. Rebounded, though, by Jordan. She'll kick it out of Nia Russell. She fakes a 3, drives right side, stops just right of the elbow. I guess a backdoor pass tried to. It's stolen away by Madison Booker. A careless pass, and here comes Booker. Booker stops at the free throw line. Now dribbles inside the right elbow. Loses the basketball, ends up kicking it out to Lee. And Texas will reset. Winnintada with it now at the free throw line. Driving inside. Good defense by Okot. I thought it was. They called a foul. I think she got a little bit of the wrist right there. Medina Okot did. A lot of action going on here. Just over 4 minutes played in the first quarter. 4-2 Mississippi State.
I think I saw something that was supposed to be a Euro step in front of my eyes before that shot was fouled.
I don't know, but Winantanda nails the first free throw. She's a 75% free throw shooter on the year. Has played a lot more as she nails the second one. Played a lot more since the Maryland game as Texas is without Aaliyah Moore. So she's had an increased role since the Maryland game back in late January. McFall with the basketball for Mississippi State. She has it at the top of the key. Now to Anaya Russell on the right wing. Russell stops. A little bit in trouble now. Going to get it over to Okot. 8 seconds on the shot clock. State got to hurry. Really not much going on offense for State. Russell with the basketball. Top of the key. Russell going to have to drive. She crosses over. Shoots. That one no good. Off rim. Rebound Texas. Winantanda got it. And now Harmon will bring it up the floor. Kick over all the way to the corner to Lee. 3 ball up. No good. Ball knocked out by Medina Okot. And so it'll remain Texas basketball.
You're now 2-2 on the turnover battle today, Ty. I don't want you to be anywhere near the turnover margin for Texas.
Quinera Montague will check in, replacing Medina Okot from Mississippi State. Harmon inbounding the basketball on the baseline. She gets it over to Madison Booker on the left wing. Booker now over to Harmon. Booker now to the top of the key. Now to Winantanda. Now they get it back to Booker. She's working. Now they get it out to Lee. The right elbow. Now they'll go inside to Winantanda. She goes up. Shot no good. Ball moves around and retained by Texas. They'll kick it all the way over to the right wing to Lee. Now they get it to Harmon. Harmon stops. Pops no good. Ball tipped around and rebounded by Mississippi State. State will bring it up the floor. Under 4.5 to play. Game is tied 4-4. Russell getting it to Destiny McFall. State has not scored in 3+ minutes, looking for a bucket. Hadn't scored from the field yet. McFall hands it off to Jordan. Top of the key, 6 on the shot clock. She's guarded by Harmon. Ball stolen away by Harmon, but it is retained by State. And McFall tries shot off the elbow of the glass and no good. Bad possession for State. Rebound for Texas. Booker brings it up the floor now to Harmon. Left side corner, shot up, shot good. Texas has their first lead of the evening.
This has been a defensive masterclass, Ty. That's Texas' second shot from the field, and State has yet to get there first.
Yeah, but Texas for sure doing their job on defense. No shots made from the field yet for MSU. Poe with it, now to Montague. Poe hands it off to Anaya Russell. Russell stutter steps, moves left, drives left, and she'll go to the line for a chance for more free throws for Mississippi State.
You're 100%. Let's keep the trend going. I'm not trying to announcer's jinx now. Let's keep the trend going, and let's make this a little bit of a closer one-possession game.
Let's hope you didn't just announce her jinx.
Okay, I hope I didn't. I just hope I didn't.
Maybe it'll wear off in the media timeout because we're now in a media timeout. Under 5 media timeout. So 7-4 Texas. Like I said, State is yet to hit a shot from the field, 0 for 5. Texas has gotten 11 shots off, but they're 2 for 11. What are your thoughts so far on the ball game, Connor?
I want to talk about the differences in this defense. Obviously, we're watching defense unfold in front of us that is spectacular. This is, like I said earlier, a defensive masterclass. Texas may be 7-0 in the last 3 minutes. State has yet to score in the last 3.5 minutes, but you look at the defense and you look at how aggressive each of them have been. 1 foul from Mississippi State and 4 fouls on the Texas side. So you're seeing a little bit of an advantage here because you're playing great defense, right? And you're only letting up 1 foul opposed to Texas 4. I mean, if Texas keeps the foul trend going, I could see Mississippi State being in a good place, especially being 100% behind the charity stripe.
I think something State needs to work on is they got to get some boards, right? Rebounding is 10-4 in favor of Texas, and Texas has gathered 6 offensive rebounds so far. Texas has just been kind of playing bully ball when it comes to boxing out around the paint. A physical team, coached by Vic Schaefer. Yeah, they're going to be physical. So State got to do a better job of finding some bodies and getting some rebounds because that's allowing for Texas. I mean, if we score these two, right, to make it 7-6, we would have the lead if we just boxed out and got a rebound. Texas does have 2 second chance points, so off those offensive rebounds, they're getting a little bit of something from them. So State main thing I'm trying to say is just get your rebounds right, and you don't have to worry about any second chance opportunities for the Longhorns.
Well, the trend you're seeing for Mississippi State's offense, I'm not seeing enough team chemistry on the court, and I don't know if it's Vic Schaefer coming to town and the Lady Bulldogs might be a little bit nervous to play in front of somebody of his resume, but now you're looking at it and it's almost me ball. I mean, we saw Jerkayla Jordan make a fadeaway Kobe shot instead of passing it out. Pass it out, reset your offense. You've had a couple times where you almost ran into a shot clock violation. I've heard the shot clock beep a couple times tonight. Let's play a little bit more team ball. Let's build the chemistry. This team can play together well. Let's show Vic Schaefer on his return to Starkville.
I think a big thing with you mentioned the shot clock. I think a big thing is just Texas is playing such good defense.
Yeah, you're right.
From inside the paint all the way to the perimeter. I mean, they're playing really tough and physical defense. It's tough for State to move. So I know that sounds crazy, but it really is. I mean, State just is having a tough time moving, just dribbling the basketball. I mean, it's been tough for State. So we'll come out of the timeout here. Hopefully, State can knock down these 2 free throws. And we'll have a 7-6 ball game. But State started out, with a 4-0 lead, and then since then, Texas scored 7 straight. So State looking for a couple of points here. They hadn't scored in just over 4 minutes. And like we mentioned, they haven't scored from the field tonight. All 4 points have come from the charity stripe.
You can do a lot in 4 minutes, Ty. I mean, I'm pretty sure I ate that hamburger earlier in less than 4 minutes.
Anaya Russell misses the free throws, so I guess the announcer jinx didn't wear off from Connor Davis over here.
Don't come at me, guys.
I don't know. Russell will dribble and look to hit her second. She nails the second. So 7-5, Mississippi State trails Texas with now 3.5 and counting to go in the first quarter. Harmon brings it up for the Horns. Top of the key, and now over to Lee. Lee now to Winantanda, now to Booker. Booker to Harmon. Good shot fake there. Got DeShields jumping, couldn't get anything out of it. They get it over to Lee, and a mid-range shot goes for Jordan Lee. Good shot there from close to the right side, short corner. Under 3 minutes to play now. 4-point lead for Texas, 9-5. DeShields brings it up for Mississippi State. She's got a shot at the elbow. She's wide open, but leaves it way short. Okot, though, with the rebound. They kick it out. Chandler Prater. Her 3 goes, and Mississippi State cuts the lead to 1.
Come on, Prater. Money from behind that perimeter, baby.
Harmon brings it up for Texas. She's always bringing it up. The true point guard for this Longhorns ball club. Gets it to Booker. Now Booker passes it back over left wing to Harmon. Now back to Booker. Top of the key now to Lee. Lee looking inside. Gets it to Oldacre, now outside. Now back out to Harmon, now to the top of the key to Winantanda, now to the corner. Lee, 2 on the shot clock. Lee got to get something up. And the shot clock's going to expire. Mississippi State with a fantastic defensive effort right there, and the crowd certainly was a part of that.
Purcell's getting a part of it. I mean, he just stepped off that maroon side for just a second onto the court. I see his little white J's on the court now. I'm getting pumped up, Ty. He said bring joy and juice. They're bringing it tonight.
So DeBarisha Poe going to check out of the game. I believe Jerkayla Jordan is going to replace her. State will have a sideline inbound just in front of their bench, and they'll get it into Jerkayla. She'll dribble up, guarded by Harmon of Texas. Jordan with it, gets a screen from Okot. She dribbles all the way to the right wing, crosses over, stops at the free throw line, pivoting now, gives it over to Prater. And I think we're going to get an illegal screen from Jerkayla Jordan right there. She tried to screen and give Prater some space, but I don't think she stayed in her spot for quite long enough. An illegal screen call. So Booker inbounds it to Harmon, and she'll bring it up the floor for the Horns. Now back to Booker. Right wing. Booker has no points today so far for Texas. Get it back over to her all the way now to the left side, left wing in front of Sam Purcell. She, with a crazy pass all the way over to Winneconda, she gets the shot to go and free throws. Goodness gracious. I didn't quite describe that as well, but hey, can you describe what that was right there, Connor?
If you look at her last name, that shot was the epitome of it.
What do you mean by that?
It's a little unique. And so was that shot.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it was unique. I mean, Booker, it looked like she was, she just basically alley-ooped it from the deep left wing all the way to Winneconda. She hit high points it, catches it at her head, and makes the shot, but she misses the free throw. Rebound, though, is gathered by Texas, and Harmon has it with under 15 on the shot clock. They get it inside, back to Winneconda. She'll go up. Good defense by Okad, and the shot's missed. McFall dribbling down. She stops at the free throw line, gets it out to Russell. State will reset. Action-packed first quarter here. 11-8. Texas leads MSU with just under 1:15 to play. The Shield still has the basketball. On the right wing, now gets it inside to Okot. Nice shot, Okot. Really nice. A pick and a roll.
A pick and roll, baby. Texas Roadhouse rolls, baby. Ooh.
Epitome of a pick and roll right there. Nice job from State to cut it to one again. Harmon with it, guarded by DeShields. Now they'll get it out of the top of the key to Winneconda. Now to Booker. Booker on the left wing. Russell guarding her closely. Harmon with it now. Kicks into the corner. Lee, 3-ball up. Short. Ball knocked around. This one going to be out on. Who's it going to be out on? They're going to point it Texas's way. Out on Mississippi State.
Ty, I might be a little biased, and we're right here on this side of the court, and it touched a Texas player right before it went out of bounds. I'm sorry.
Well, you can say that, and the refs can say that, but the main thing is State's got to get a rebound. It's just one Longhorn player in there going for the rebound, and there's a bunch of white jerseys around. State's got to do a better job getting a rebound. Meanwhile, though, Texas has it. Booker with a short corner shot, no good. Rebounded again by Texas on the offensive side. They're going to reset. Get it to Harmon. 13 on the shot clock. About a 6-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Now 8 on the shot clock. Booker with it on the right wing. Driving to the right side, short corner. Gets it over to Winneconda. Now inside to Jones. Jones' shot no good. State got to hurry. 5 on the game clock. Shot clock is off. McFall driving inside, trying to go up. That one is going to be blocked. No foul called, and that is how we will end our first quarter. State stands tall on the defensive end. Texas now 0 of their last 4 from the field, but the main takeaway, and I want you to talk about this too, Connor, 9 offensive rebounds for Texas, 3 for Mississippi State. Texas is bullying the Bulldogs on the offensive glass.
I mean, you're right about that. 13 rebounds in total for Texas, 8 for State. It's not that big of a discrepancy, but 9 offensive rebounds for Texas. That's the discrepancy you have to look at. What happens when you get offensive rebounds, Ty? You get second chance points, and sometimes second chance points are how you win ball games. For Mississippi State, they have to do everything in their power to make sure they can beat a top-ranked Texas Longhorn team and make sure they can pop that bubble and secure a spot in the NCAA tournament.
I mean, both defenses are playing really well. I mean, Texas 24% from the field, State 22%. So it's a lot of tough shots for both teams, and they're just not falling. Texas has had some open shots. State has rarely had any open shot, but most of the shots from each team has been contested, and it's been tough defense from both sides. But I think the main thing for State is if you get your offensive rebounds, if you get your offensive rebounds, they wouldn't have 2 second chance points right now, and you would be leading the game going into the second quarter. But we are going to take a break. We'll have the second quarter coming up here shortly. A little karaoke going on at the hump. Mr. Brightside playing.
I'm not going to start singing, Ty, if that's what you're referring to. I don't think they'd want to hear me sing.
I don't know. We'll might need to do a poll on Twitter and ask if we want Connor to sing before the end of the ball game. But we're going to take a break, come back in just a second for the second quarter. It's 11-10 Texas after the end of 1. You're listening to Mississippi State women's basketball from the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
the Chattahoochee. It gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. We laid rubber on the Georgia asphalt. We got a little crazy, but we never got caught. Down by the river on a Friday night, pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight. Talking about cars and dreaming about women. Never had a plan, just a living for the minute. Yeah, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, never knew how much that muddy water meant to me. But I learned how to swim and I learned who I was. A lot about living and a little about love. Well, we fogged up the windows in my old Chevy. I was willing.
Back here at the Humphrey Coliseum, famous Maroon Band just wrapped up a little bit of Hail State, trying to pump up the crowd. It's a decent crowd here. Most of the lower bowl is full, not as much in the upper bowl. A whiteout here at the Humphrey Coliseum tonight.
We got our white on, Ty, that's for sure. Me and you are matching today.
Yeah, us both, and then Zach put his white on as well. Proud of us for sticking with the color script there.
You got to. That's how you show your spirit here at State.
State got the ball out of the quarter or out of the break, so State has it now on the offensive end. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Ocott has on the right wing. Guarded closely. Now they'll give it to DeShields. DeShields top of the key, still dribbling. She'll dribble to the left side, try and hand it off to Prater. Prater corrals it. 8 on the shot clock. They're going to feed it inside the paint to Ocott. She goes up left hand and good. Mississippi State takes the lead.
Feed her more. Get that to Ocott every time because that's what's going well today for Mississippi State.
Harmon has it now up the floor. Defense chance. Bolstering around the hump. Lee with it now back to Harmon. Harmon, a little bit of space. She's going to drive. Now she'll kick out Lee. Lee has an open three. It won't fall. Ocott with the rebound. And DeShields will take it up the floor. DeShields on the left wing guarded by Harmon. Mike thought they could have fed it into Ocott. They do now, though. Ocott goes up with the shot. It's no good. Same team, Texas. Texas had a little bit of trouble with the basketball. Ocott ended up getting on it, and it's a tie-up. It'll go Texas's way, but the possession arrow will go back to Mississippi State.
You just got to keep feeding Ocott. There was a chance where you could have fed her again. DeShields didn't see it. Then we fed her a second time, and she just came a little bit short. But, hey, Ocott's doing some work. She's leading the Lady Bulldogs with 6 points tonight.
Voice crack right there. Anaya Russell checks into the game for DeShields. Texas has on the offensive end. They're trying to look inside to Booker. Ocott steals it. Here comes Destiny McFall. Not great numbers, but they end up getting it in to Medina Ocott. She goes up with the left hand, banks it off the glass, and State with a 3-point lead.
I am loving Ocott tonight. Keep it going, baby.
She was cooking last game against Texas A&M, and she's starting to cook now against the Longhorns of Texas. Winnintonda has it on the right wing. She'll give it to Lee, top of the key, guarded by Chandler Prater. Now over to the left wing. They'll go with another big pass over to Winnintonda. She puts the shot up, no good, but foul on the play. A foul on the shot, rather, and Winnintonda will go to the line again.
I can't have her Ocott getting too many fouls now. I'm smelling what she's cooking right now, and I want to continue to smell it throughout the game. 2
fouls for Medina Ocott. She checks out of the game, and Kayla Thomas will enter. Also, Jones will check out, and Oldacre will come in for Texas. Meanwhile, Winnintonda at the line. Her first free throw falls. So Ocott had a great game against Texas. Texas A&M rather had a double-double, and Junior has been really big for Mississippi State this year. Winnintonda knocks down the second, so 2 free throws good for Texas. Here's that full-court man-to-man press from the Longhorns. State gets it in to Kayla Thomas. Almost lost the basketball. She'll catch it, though, and give it to Destiny McFall, who will take it down the floor. She has on the right wing. Now swings it inside to Kayla Thomas. Beautiful work. A little bit of miscommunication between Oldacre and Harmon, and it left Kayla Thomas wide open inside the paint.
Perfect.
Harmon brings it up for Texas. Now to Lee. Lee's been in the game for a while now. Harmon with it. They go inside to Winnintonda. Winnintonda has it stripped. Destiny McFall with the steal. She corrals the basketball. State will slow it down now. Left wing. McFall drives on Winantanda. Goes up left hand. No good. Rebound Kayla Thomas. She gets it out to Poe. Poe almost traveled, almost an up and down. She gets the ball and passes it over to the right wing for McFall. State will reset with 15 on the shot clock. McFall moving left. Gets it inside to Kayla Thomas. Go to work, Kayla. She does. Right-handed layup. No good, though. Rebound Oldacre. A pretty good possession there for State. Just didn't end with a made shot. Harmon with it now just inside the three-point line. She gets it inside to Winantanda. Winantanda is cooking on the block, and she gets it to go again.
That's 8 points for Winantanda now tonight.
Chandler Prater with the basketball. She brings up the floor past the Texas full court pressure. She gets it all the way to the right side block. Now she picked up her dribble. She's going to have to pass it. Gets it to Poe just inside the right elbow. No good. Great hustle and Aya Russell. She gets the rebound for State. They got a fresh 20. They get it over to McFall. McFall shot fake. Dribbles past Winantanda, but gets inside the paint. Has it stolen by Oldacre. And looked like Destiny McFall tried to tie up Oldacre, but ended up fouling her. So that'll be the first foul on McFall. And the second team foul of the quarter by Mississippi State.
You're doing so great getting the team involved, and then one thing led to another, and now you're just kind of back right where you started.
Texas will inbound. Booker gets it to Harmon. Those two talking to each other, and Harmon will bring it up the floor. Harmon guarded by Denham DeShields, who's now in the game for Destiny McFall. She's guarded closely out on the right wing now by Poe. Harmon in trouble trying to step through a double team. Ends up getting a pass off to Lee, top of the key. 10 on the shot clock for Texas. Back out to Harmon. Now they get it low or right side short corner Booker. Her shot far. Ball knocked around, rebounded by Mississippi State. A 2-on-2 fast break for the Bulldogs. DeShields coming down, stops. In a little bit of trouble, gets it out to Poe. Poe with on the left wing. Now dribbles the left elbow, now backs it out. She picked up her dribble, got to get rid of it. Guarded closely by Booker. And a timeout by Sam Purcell. Smart timeout by the head man for Mississippi State. Debrecia Poe was in sure trouble right there.
If Sam Purcell is going to beat the mind of Vic Schaefer, he's got to become the mind of Vic Schaefer. He's got to learn that basketball IQ. He's got to learn that Vic Schaefer basketball IQ, and I think he just did it right there. That was a well-needed timeout. He used it. You can't take him with you. Kept the lead at 16-15 Mississippi State.
So State now leading the turnover battle. 5 turnovers for Texas, 4 for State. I think one thing I wanted to talk about was if Texas gets hot at some point in this game and they start to go on a run, it's not affecting State right now as much. It's giving them a little bit of problems, but I think that full court man-to-man press that is Vic Schaefer's staple is going to give Mississippi State some trouble. We've been having a little trouble getting the inbound in. What do you think about that full court man-to-man, Connor? Does it worry you like it worries me a little bit?
I was about to say, Ty, I feel like we've seen that before, and we have before. Vic Schaefer has used this defense here at Mississippi State, and we know it works. I mean, he's been to 2 national championships back-to-back years. It is worrying me, Ty, because if he can go to 2 national championships playing that type of defense, what's he going to do to our Mississippi State Bulldogs?
Well, let's hope he doesn't disturb any success from Mississippi State tonight. Medina Okot, we've been talking about her a lot. 8 points tonight for Medina Okot. 3 for 5 from the field, and then 2 free throws for her. She got 2 rebounds as well. I mean, she has been the offense for Mississippi State. Next closest Bulldog behind her is Prater with 3.
You got to get better from the field, Ty. I mean, 31% isn't awful. It's not bad.
It's not great. It's not great.
It's not great.
It's not
but
great.
If you look at Texas's, though, 25% from the field, you're 17% from the 3, Ty. You're doing a dang good job on defense. Bring your offense and try to match that defense. You got to bring your joy. Right now you're bringing it, but you're missing the juice. I need the juice.
Big thing with defense is got to guard Winantanda when they try those. They've been trying those long passes from the wing in the Winantanda on the low block or just outside the low block in the short corner, and then she's been going up with it. So State got to try their best. It's a weird. A lot of it is weird angles that they're passing from, and Texas is just able to get them in there, and Winantanda is able to either make the shot with a foul, miss the shot with a foul, or just make the shot in general. So State got to guard that better. But one thing that's, been really surprising for me, and she's had a couple of shot attempts tonight. She's 0 for 4, no points for Madison Booker. I mean, she's a National Player of the Year candidate this year, leads the team with 16 points a game. I mean, last year she was a Big 12 Player of the Year and the Freshman of the Year in the Big 12. I mean, she is their star, and she doesn't have a point tonight and has missed all 4 of her shots.
Well, you could say the same thing about us, Ty. Jerkayla Jordan, right now, she hasn't made a shot from the field either. Now, she's contributed in free throws, but she hasn't made a shot from the field either. And now we're seeing a little bit of deja vu. Madison Booker's not doing great, but Jerkayla Jordan's right there with her.
State will inbound the basketball. They called the timeout, so while they had it in their possession, so they'll inbound it. Try and inbound it inside the paint to Nia Russell, and the ball is turned over. So Harmon will bring it up the floor for Texas. Guarded by DeShields. There's a pass over the right wing. Shot no good by Holly. Rebounded, though, by Texas, and Booker gets the shot to fall. We just talked about her not scoring, and she makes the shot right there. And then a foul on the inbound. Texas a little too physical in their full-court press and foul.
Sometimes your full-court press only works in maroon, Ty. It might not work in that Texas burnt orange.
So DeBrisha Pogan inbound it right in front of the State bench. Texas still with the pressure. They end up getting it inside or into Denham DeShields. DeShields with it on the right wing. 17-16, Texas with the lead, just over 5.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Poe with it, deep top of the key, looking to get it to Nia Russell. That's going to be a foul on Nia Russell. She kind of elbowed Harmon right there. Straight up just pretty much elbowed Rory Harmon. Nothing flagrant. They're not going to go to the monitor or anything, but maybe not an elbow, but just definitely shoved off, and they caught that, and it's a foul on her.
It's a turnover you don't need.
3 turnovers in the last 2.5 minutes for State. State now with a scoring drought that's lasted over 2.5 minutes. Texas hasn't the offensive end, leading the game by 1. Get it over to Lee. Now back to Harmon. Now to Booker, just inside the three-point line. They swing it cross court to Lee. Now to Preston. Preston newly checked into the game, and she's going to drive inside, but a jump ball is called as Mississippi State's going to have the basketball.
I'm thinking that's a travel, Ty. There was 3 steps before that ball was even touched, but they're going to give it a jump ball.
DeShields, they'll throw it all the way down the floor, but DeShields' pass is intercepted, but losing the basketball as Texas and State will come up with it. So Prater got it, but now Poe has the basketball on the right wing. Poe dribbling the right side short corner, now backs it out to the right wing. Looking for something, trying to get a screen from Kayla Thomas. Now pass it to Prater, ball getting knocked around. Texas playing big-time defense, and it's a turnover from State. Thomas throws it away. Here comes Harmon down the floor. Now to Lee. Lee stops at the block. Now gets it to Harmon. Harmon, a shot inside the three-point line, no good. Ball knocked around. State trying to pass it out. Kayla Thomas got on the floor, but it's turned over by State. Now kick it all the way to Lee in the corner. Now to Booker. Booker on the block. Now to Lee. That pass too tall for Lee. It's a turnover by Texas.
That's somebody that's got to start getting hot. You said her name earlier, DeBrisha Poe. I haven't got to say my catchphrase yet, Ty. I haven't got to say it because she hasn't been getting hot. But when DeBrisha Poe gets hot tonight, you make sure I say that catchphrase.
I got you. Quinera Montague checked into the game for State. She replaces Kayla Thomas. State trails it by 1, 4:20 and counting in the second quarter. DeShields with the basketball. Now to Prater on the left wing, guarded by Lee. Now to Poe, top of the key. State working slow, 10 on the shot clock. Poe got to go now, 7 on the shot clock. Poe going to drive inside, trying to pass it off, gets it to Montague. She'll drive inside the paint and scores it. Nice job from Quinera Montague, and Mississippi State grabs the lead back from the Longhorns.
Quick thinking.
Harmon will take it up for Texas. Booker was kind of asking for the ball, but Harmon shields her off. They end up getting it to Booker inside the corner. Now back to Harmon at the top of the key. They go to Lee. Lee crossover, got Prater jumping, gets it inside. to Preston, no good. Rebound Montague, and Mississippi State with a chance to take an even further lead. The Shields will drive inside, a burst of speed, and she's fouled on the drive inside, a foul on the floor. I think that's going to be the third team foul on Texas this quarter.
I think you could have heard that slap from up here, Ty. I mean, them reach-in fouls ain't been too kind for old Texas.
That foul on Harmon, that's her first personal foul. It's only, I believe, the second team foul for Texas. State with 3 team fouls. State got to get it in. They get it into Jordan. She shoots, no good, but she was fouled on the jump shot by Harmon, so 2 quick fouls for Rory Harmon. And it's going to send Kayla Jordan to the line, a chance for State to extend the lead.
I hope she heard me up here. I really hope she did, because I'm not going to announce her jinx her, but I'm just hoping the best for her.
I'll take it over from here.
Okay.
How about that?
I think that's a good idea, so I don't say anything I regret.
3:17 to go in the second quarter. And it's an 18-17 Mississippi State lead. And Kayla Jordan at the charity stripe shooting 2. Swishes the first one, 19-17. Nobody checking in, and now Vic Schaefer sends Mwinintanda in to check in, and she'll replace, let's see who she replaces. She's going to replace Harmon, so let's see who is going to run the point guard now for Texas.
Can I breathe now?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I'm making sure.
Jordan did make the second free throw, so a 3-point lead for State. Lee trapped in the corner. Good job by Mississippi State. Still being trapped. Ball knocked away. Stolen by Mississippi State. The Shields up the floor now. Crowd roaring here at the Hump. Gives it to Jordan. Jordan goes inside. Gets it to Montague. Up. Good. Mississippi State up 5. Their largest lead of the night.
That center play today by State has been fantastic. Keep it coming.
Preston now the point guard bringing it up. They give it to Booker. Booker inside to Mwinintanda. Mwinintanda the right elbow. She drives on Jordan. Shot up off glass. Good. Silences the crowd a little bit. This crowd fierce tonight, looking for a big-time win.
Mwinintanda, man.
State going to get the rebound. Yeah, she's playing well tonight. Mwinintanda definitely playing well for Texas. State with it in the front court. The Shields has it, 15 on the shot clock. The Shields driving inside. Somehow got that layup off. No good. Rebound Montague. Her shot short off really the bottom of the goal, and it's rebounded by Texas. Here comes Madison Booker. Booker driving on Prater. She'll get to the block. Gets her shot up. It's good. That's a big-time shot from Madison Booker. I mean, that's just her game right there.
That's the Madison Booker we're used to seeing right there.
So the Shields with it. Texas with a little mini run countering the 5-point lead for State. A 4-0 mini run for Texas. Prater with it on the left wing. She'll drive on Madison Booker. Goes up with the right hand and gets it to go. Nice layup from Chandler Prater.
Prater. Keep it coming, baby.
Just over a minute and a half to play in the first half. State up 3 on number 1 Texas. Madison Booker with it. Now over to Preston. Now back to Booker. Now they get it over to Mwinintanda. Now back to Booker. Working the left side of the court. Now they work right side. They get a 3-ball up. It is good. Big shot for Texas. That was Jordan Lee with the shot that fell.
Tied ball game.
State gets the inbound in. It's Poe who's going to take it up the floor. 24 all. Exactly 1 minute to play in the second quarter. Poe gets a screen over to Chandler Prater. Her shot will fall, but before the shot, there was a foul on the floor by Texas. They kind of shoved Denham to Shields, so the shot won't count. Kind of sucks because that was a 3 to answer a 3 there by State.
It was a beautiful shot. I mean, everything was there. The rotation, the arc, the power, the follow-through, the stance. I mean, it was all there. It was beautiful. It was textbook. It fell, but they called a whistle right before it happened.
Would have been Prater's second 3 of the night. And they're going to review this foul on the floor. Now, the Shields kind of got shoved, as much as we saw from up here in our booth up here. So we saw that. There was an obvious common foul. But I don't know if there was anything flagrant to it. If they show the replay on the screen here at the Hump, we'll definitely kind of break that down to you.
I wish they would. And didn't you just do replay all yesterday, Ty? I mean, that's your specialty.
Well, I didn't do replay. I know I didn't do replay for the video board. I don't know how that goes, but we'll see. They do have it on the board here. The foul was on Madison Booker. Nothing really showing, and then they take it off the board. So can't tell. I think now the referees have left the scores table. I think they left it at just a common foul.
It's probably going to stand as it is. If I had to guess, it'll probably just stand. The refs aren't making a big hoopla about it. They kind of just dispersed and went their own ways, and now they're back to where they're supposed to be, and it's Mississippi State basketball.
At least from what I saw up here, it didn't look like anything extracurricular. So I think they made the right call. State is going to inbound it on the timeline right by the Texas bench. Now, Denham DeShields kind of cleaned up by the injury staff, health staff, whatever, however you would say that, kind of getting cleaned up over there. So she's good to go. They're kind of doing some work. It looked like on her leg.
She might have got one of them court rashes.
Maybe.
Ooh,
those
I
hurt.
can't stand
Those hurt.
Oh,
those
yeah.
hurt. So State will inbound the basketball. Jordan looking to inbound it. She gets it into Debrisha Poe. Now she'll hand off Jordan. Jordan stops at the left elbow, backs it out to the top of the key. 14 on the shot clock for State. Jordan guarded by Munentana. She'll drive inside. Goes up with a floater. That one no good. Rebounded Kayla Thomas. Outside Debrisha Poe. 3-ball up. 3-ball good.
Preach the breach. Preach the breach, baby. Get fired up.
So State ends up answering with a 3 anyway. It's 27-24 Bulldogs. Munentana with a free throw shot. She has been hot tonight. That's her 12 points on the night for her. And Texas answers Mississippi State. State still with the lead. Trap in the corner. Good job by Prater to get it out. The Shields ends up getting it cross court. So shot clock is off. 10 seconds on the game clock. Now 8. The Shields with it still. Gets a screen. Kicks it out. Poe, a deep 3. That one up. That one's going to be off. A brick. Ball knocked around. Girls are on the floor. And that's going to be the half. Mississippi State, the girls team, going in the locker room. A lot of applause from this Humphrey Coliseum crowd tonight. State leads it now 27-26 going into the half.
You're where you want to be right now, Ty. You're not winning the rebound battle. That's fine. But you're winning the turnover battle by 1. There's not a huge discrepancy. I'd love that gap to get larger. I'd love to see maybe like a more than 5 kind of difference between that turnover battle. But 19 rebounds for Texas and 15 for State. You got a little bit better on your offensive. We saw a 9-3 difference earlier. It's 11-7 now, and I think that really has to go to Sam Purcell. He has been rotating at that center spot perfectly. When he feels that Ocott, maybe she's getting a little bit down or maybe she's not performing how he wants them to, it's a perfect rotation to Kayla Thomas. And then if Kayla Thomas, hey, Kayla, maybe you're not doing what I might want you, I'm expected of you. I'm going to take Montague and put him in your spot. It's been perfect center rotation today, and Sam Purcell, I'm giving you credit for it.
That's well said, and it good job by Purcell, dealing with the 2 Ocott fouls, but also credit to Montague and credit to Thomas. I mean, they've come in and done some good things for Mississippi State. I think one thing that's big as well, too, is, we're not winning the rebounding battle, but if you look at it further inside the offensive rebounding battle, that we were losing 9-3 at the end of the first half, or at the end of the first quarter, rather, it's now 11-7. So that means State out-rebounded Texas in the offensive glass 4-2. So State actually had the advantage there in the second quarter, ended up getting more offensive rebounds. So, but with all that being said, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back in just a little bit. It'll be Zach Sizemore and I doing the halftime show, but it's Mississippi State with a 27-26 lead over the number 1 Texas Longhorns. You're listening to Mississippi State women's basketball from the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
is the place to be. Since I was 19, you can find me, maroon and white tee. Stay grinding, you're not on my team to get behind me and stay behind. You will play behind. Man, I'm in a Mississippi state of mind, and this state of mind ain't a greater time. Take a break in line and just take what's mine. It's an our state, our place, and you can see that it's written on our face. This is our break, our race, and if you ain't with it, get out of our way. Now stand up in your seat, sling a cowbell to the beat. Got 3-6 on my cheek, my boy MB gonna rest in peace. We just left the being in, cowbell to the wind, and this maroon and white is blending like I'm Two-Face, Harvey Dent, and my friends up in the tent, and you know they Mississippi, and we coming for your hearts. So before we stop, wanna put a stint in. My state of mind is a place for these dime rhymes to mint in, and if you cross the line, that's the place that they're gonna be spent in. I'm looking at the Mississippi women, and the district got me grinning. You step up in the pen, man, you probably gon' get hit.
MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we
up in
MSU.
Star Vegas, we got that bar, baby. And all ladies breaking hearts, they call it shark baiting. That identity, some crisis left you lifeless like your sparks. They need to decide who y'all move side, 'cause this state is ours, baby. Star crazy coming to pound, man, we drooling. You looking like a new kid in town, you gon' get bullied. You better draw back, bruh, we on the attack, bruh. We dogs of war, we coming forward, you can see that it's written on the dog tag.
And we ain't listening to what you think we gon' do, 'cause either way we're coming for you. And it don't matter how we do, we gonna stay true.
'Cause that's true maroon and that's through and through.
From that L-I-S-S-I. Now stay from the stand full of plate in my hand full of cheese fries. S-S-I. Get the beat me, you know that we believe. Hit the street when we're ready, check me eat on the Yeti, you can see that we're reppin' S-T-A-T-E till we D-I-E. Every place that we step in, so rap that in maroon and white. We're gonna rule the night, we're gonna do the fight song all the way down Main and I ain't gonna make it back to maroon tonight. But wherever my head lands, long as that golden egg still stands behind that glass, I don't have to ask. I know we adding who I am, we MSU.
And we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control.
Welcome back to the Humphrey Coliseum. It's our halftime show with Zach Sizemore now joining us. Still me on the halftime show talking to you. Got a little bit of knockout going on the floor right now. Down to 2. I hate to broadcast it, but this is pretty interesting. We should broadcast this, Zach.
Yeah, we should. The person we thought we'd win unfortunately got out, but still a close battle here.
Oh,
I think that's
it's
the
over.
end.
It's
Dang.
over. All right, guy in a white shirt and jeans and boots won. What a fantastic performance by him. But we'll talk about the performance of Mississippi State in the first half. No more knockout to talk about. So Mississippi State leads at 27-26 at the break. I mean, pretty good performance from Mississippi State, obviously being up 1 on the number 1 team in the country. What are some specifics that you saw during the first half, Zach?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing that stood out to me, so, I'm here producing. I'm not really having to pay attention just one single thing for the ball movement or where the ball is Texas's ball movement on the offensive side and what it's doing to State's defense. Now, State hasn't done a terrible job on defense. I mean, limiting the number 1 team in the country to 26 points, out-rebounding them, and I believe, yes, getting one more turnover off of them. But the problem is, this Texas team is really good at moving the ball around and that off-ball movement by their players, that it's causing State to kind of lose focus on their woman. I mean, they are playing a zone, so you don't really have a woman, but you have an area, but they're kind of getting drawn into other areas, causing open players to just kind of sneak in and get good-looking shots.
Yeah, so, I mean, the off-ball movement by Texas and the passing by Texas is really stressing the Mississippi State defense in the little zone pockets that are in the Mississippi State defense. That's well said there. That's a good point. Definitely, and it does kind of tie a little bit into the rebounding situation. Texas is out rebounding State totally by 19 to 15, but the offensive rebounds now, Texas still leads 11 to 7. So, but State did a little bit better in the second quarter, out rebounding Texas 4 to 2 on the offensive glass. So that was something that we were worried about after the first quarter, but State kind of cleaned it up a little bit. The main thing is, though, what I was talking about with like the ball movement and the off-ball movement and all that is, a couple of State players are getting rearranged a little bit. And it's tough for them to find a body to box out, and I think that's kind of been a reason why we hadn't been able to box out as well.
Yeah, I mean, as you just said, it's when you get out of place and all 5 of the players on the opposing team crash the board, it's hard to pinpoint one person. Sometimes you'll have 2 bodies on one when you should just have one-on-one, so that's a good point there.
Let's talk about the offensive side of it for Mississippi State. Just what were your thoughts on the State offense?
I will say at first it was kind of a bit slow, as you said. It took them a little bit to find their groove, get a shot made on the floor. Part of that was due to that full court press by Texas. As we know, it's a Vic Schaefer specialty. He ran it here at State for a long time, but they were able to kind of settle down, figure out how to beat that full court press and trap. And once they did, it looked like they felt more calm on the offensive side, able to get passes around, all that. When they were having trouble beating that press, they looked very hectic and hard. Like, it was hard to settle in, get good passes, drive in.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think that's well said. It definitely was hectic in the backcourt for sure. Texas with that just applying pressure, right? But when State got in the front court too, I thought also Texas was playing really physical defensively and sticking to them, to Mississippi State on defense. And State just had a tough time. Me and Connor and I discussed this after the end of the first quarter. State just had a tough time moving.
Yeah.
Not passing, not shooting, but just moving, dribbling the basketball. I thought State kind of settled in better in that second quarter. Obviously, you outscored Texas 17 to 15 in the second quarter. So like I said, I thought State just settled in on both sides, or on both ends of the court, in the back court offensively and in the front court. I thought State had some better possessions, some possessions that didn't end in points, but I thought were overall pretty quality possessions and ended in good looks. So that is our halftime show You got any more thoughts with
Just one
Zach?
final thought that I failed to mention earlier, and you reminded me when you said the physicality of Texas. I was like, I appreciate these referees just letting the ladies play. There could have been a lot more fouls called, but they're just letting them play, letting them be physical like both teams want to. And I greatly appreciate that watching.
Oh yeah, for sure. You don't want to have it, be people call it a ref show, and you don't want to have it be any sort of thing like that. But they're just letting them play this evening, and it has been a fun first half, and hopefully it'll be a fun first half in favor of the Maroon and White. We'll be back in about a minute, as we're so close here to the third quarter starting. It's Mississippi State 27, Texas 26. Second half about to get underway. You're listening to Mississippi State women's basketball from the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit me get up. First shot, pimp strut walking, a little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious, somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Bad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPEND.
We are back here at the Humphrey Coliseum. DJ Cujo getting the fans in a groove here, a little bit of music playing.
He's from my hometown, baby.
Yeah, from Hattiesburg,
Yes, sir.
Mississippi. So
Up City.
South Mississippi, stand up.
Yeah, that's
Know what I'm
us.
saying?
That's
So,
us.
Yeah. So
We're representing right now.
for sure, we're ready for the second half to start here. Texas has the ball. To be Harmon who has it on the far end for us watching the game. Now to Holly. Holly hands it off Booker. She has a little trouble with it. Gathers the basketball, though. Guarded by Prater. She gets it over to Winnenkonda. And she'll get a shot up just behind the SC logo. No good. She gets her own rebound. Misses. No good. And Jones gets the rebound and puts it up for Texas. So State struggling with the offensive boards early here.
They just got 2 rebounds out of that one possession.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, totally. And so State struggling the offensive boards on the first possession of the half. State has in the offensive end. Poe with it. Guarded by Winnenkonda. She'll get it to Okot, who is guarded by Jones. 7 on the shot clock. State got to hurry. The Shields with it. Stops at the top of the key. Going to have to get a shot up. Gets it to Jordan. She pulls up a right wing 3. It's up, off, and rebounded. The ball is being fought for in a jump ball, and it'll be called jump ball, and it'll go to Mississippi State.
I was making sure the refs weren't looking at that flopping and going to call it a foul, so I'm glad they did not tender to that Texas player, number 44, Jones. And it's just going to be a simple jump ball, and we're going to get it back on the maroon and white side.
So DeShields will trigger the inbound on the baseline. She lobs it up to Okot, who's fouled. I don't believe that's going to be in the process of shooting. I think that's going to be a foul on the floor, and it will be. They're going to have the basketball on the baseline again. State will.
Okot looked like an NBA center on that play. Goodness gracious, she had about 2 Texas defenders on her.
DeShields will inbound it to Jordan. Dribbling inside the arc, gets it to Prater. Prater with a reverse layup. It falls, hung on the rim for a little bit, and then found its way inside in the net.
Prater.
So Harmon with it now on the right wing. Now she's guarded by Chandler Prater. And they get it to Booker. Booker back over to Harmon, who moved to the left wing. Now to Winnenkonda on the left side short corner. Now to Harmon. Harmon out to Holly. Now to Booker. Booker will drive on Prater. Good defense by Jacayla Jordan, but to the ref's eyes, a little bit too physical there by Jacayla Jordan to reach in on her. That's her third foul.
She's got to be careful. She came in like a middle linebacker in the NFL and was about to try to steal the ball, but we ain't playing football tonight, Ty.
Booker will inbound it to Harmon. Now to Holly. She'll try a top of the key 3, and it falls. Texas Leads it now by 2.
I think Blair Schaefer taught her that one.
Probably Blair Schaefer, a great three-point shooter in her years at Mississippi State. Now assistant coach on the Texas staff. State within the offensive end. It's DeShields, crosses over, gets inside the lane, passes off to Ocott, and she puts it up for 2.
Chemistry. Facilitate right to Ocott and feed her more.
Harmon will bring it up the floor. Guarded by DeShields. Now the switch. Chandler Prater guard her. Now Harmon will dribble over to the right side. Now to Muinantana, now to Booker. Booker goes inside to Jones. Jones going to step on the baseline. It'll be a turnover for the Longhorns.
Ocott is just doing great on both sides of the court. She's doing great offensively. She's doing great defensively. What can Ocott not do?
Texas with that full court pressure. DeShields trying to inbound it. It's knocked out by Jones, and State will do it all over again, but on the other side of the baseline.
She was by the T in the hump, and now she's by the P.
DeShields will inbound it to Ocott as she sealed off Jones and gives it to DeShields, and DeShields will bring it up the floor. DeShields guarded by Holly. She has it on the far right side, now dribbling to her left to the left elbow. Crosses over, looking over to the right wing, gets it to Prater. Prater has it knocked free by Muinantana, but regains it, now working inside the paint on the block. She'll fade on the block. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Texas. It was Jones that came up with it. Texas pushing in transition. It'll be Harmon who pulls the jumper from the left elbow, no good. Rebounded by Ocott. We'll see if State tries to push it here. A little bit of pace to the transition. And the ball might get turned over. No, Poe will somehow gather the basketball. She's going to drive inside of the right block. Little trouble with the dribble now. Gives it to Ocott. Ocott shot no good. It was blocked. Rebounded by Texas. Texas up the floor. Good pass from Harmon all the way up the floor to Holly, and Holly gets a lay in to fall. 2-point lead for the Horns. Now Prater coming down the floor quickly. A Euro on Holly, and she gets the left-handed layup to fall. Prater, who didn't play as well against Texas A&M, is lighting it up tonight.
You know how I mentioned Joy and Juice? I want to add a third one, Jelly. That was Jelly.
9 points for Chandler Prater tonight after the lefty layup. 33-all here with just over 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Booker with it, top of the key. 15 on the shot clock now to Harmon. Now they work it inside to Jones. Jones gives it over to Booker. A layup won't fall. And that is a late foul call.
So we're calling fouls after the shot's been said and done, missed and out the rim?
That was a definitely a late whistle. And it was on the shot. So Booker is going to go to the line. A couple of Bulldogs are going to check in. A couple of Bulldogs are going to check out. Montague, Russell, and McFall will enter. Prater, Ocott, and Jordan will check out of the game.
I could have said Muinantana's name about 20 times before that foul call was called.
Ocott checking out has now 3 fouls, and Jordan, who also is now checking out as Booker misses the first free throw. Jordan also has 3 fouls, so two girls in trouble tonight for State. 3 fouls for Jordan, 3 fouls for Ocott, and the way Ocott's played tonight, that's not good for MSU. Booker makes the second and gives Texas a 1-point lead. 6:07 to play in the third quarter. State will get the inbound quick, and now McFall will bring it up the floor. McFall working on Holly. Dribbles to her left, working to the free throw line. That one going to be thrown away by Destiny McFall. A turnover for Mississippi State.
McFall is McFallin.
That is a tough possession for Destiny right there.
It wasn't her destiny, though. I see her destiny being something greater than that.
You and these punts
I'm
are starting
sorry.
to get crazy. Meanwhile, Holly has it on the right wing for Texas. 16 on the shot clock. They kick it all the way to the left wing to Harmon. Harmon going to work on Debrisha Poe. She's still outside the three-point line. Now kicks it to Booker. Booker fakes the pass. Now dribbles to the right elbow. Shot up. No good. Rebound Mississippi State. See if they push it. They will. DeShields goes up and kicks it out to Poe. Poe, right wing 3. Good. Good shot, Debrisha Poe.
Preach Debrisha, baby. I love that.
36-34 Mississippi State. Poe is dangerous when she can get it, catch it, and shoot it in momentum, and she had it right there. Harmon with it at the top of the key for Texas. But now over to Booker. Now to Holly. Holly a three. Good. Texas answers. Can't leave her open.
Another Blair Schaefer-esque shot from Holly.
2 threes now for Holly. And the Shields will bring it up the floor. On Madison Booker. Oh, man, a nice fake and got Booker jumping, and DeShields goes up with the lay-in and scores it.
She was playing peekaboo with the basketball right there.
Harmon with it. Stayed up 38-37. Top of the key, Harmon dribbling left. Now they'll go inside. Shot no good by Jones. She gets her rebound, misses the follow, and rebounded by Montague. Montague gives it to Anaya Russell. State will bring it up the floor with a 1-point lead. Under 4.5 to play in the third quarter. Russell to Montague, driving. She's fouled. Layup won't go, but she's going to go to the line for 2.
Do you know what would have happened if she made that? I might would have screamed and won, and every single person in white today would have heard it.
Well, I hope you wouldn't have I hope you wouldn't have done that. That would have been really loud on the broadcast.
I know it probably would have, but I mean, it's kind of like the shot heard around the world, and I'm talking about a basketball shot.
That would have been to your point though, with you getting excited about that. It would have excited the crowd for sure. I mean, that would have been a big shot. Texas and State going toe to toe in this third quarter. Shot after shot. Defensive stand after defensive stand. 11 points scored by both teams this quarter. It's been a fantastic quarter, and overall, even if we're State people, Texas people would say the same thing. This is a great women's basketball game.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it tonight. I canceled my plans so I could come over here and call some Mississippi State women's basketball, and I am having the time of my life. The joy and the juice are really exciting me tonight.
So Mississippi State with a 38-37 lead, and we're going to take a quick timeout. We're in a media timeout, so that's why we're going to take a little break here, and then we will be back with 4:21 to play in the third quarter. It's Mississippi State 37, Mississippi State 38, Texas 37. You're listening to Mississippi State women's basketball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Back on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. 4:21 to play in the third quarter. Mississippi State with a 38-37 lead over the number 1 team in the land, the Texas Longhorns. Vic Schaefer's return to Starkville. He's gotten everything thrown at him tonight by this Mississippi State women's squad.
Right now, we're having a 38-37 game. These two teams are averaging well over these numbers. I mean, it's over double. Mississippi State was 76 points a game and Texas with 81. We're not even at either of those thresholds. We're under half of it. That's the defense I'm seeing today, and it's amazing. I love a good defensive game in any sport I'm watching, especially basketball, because you don't really see it nowadays.
Texas dominated Georgia in their last game, beat them 57-26, but that 57 stands out to me because it was another low-scoring game for Texas. It's not very typical, especially like you mentioned, they're scoring 81 points a game. It's not very typical that they're held to that little points. It didn't matter when you allow only 26 points from your opposition. But a couple of games now where some defenses have given them fits.
I mean, when your opposition tonight, though, is Sam Purcell and the Lady Bulldogs, you're going to have a tough bout.
Yeah, you've been talking about the joy and the juice, a lot of juice in this building tonight. And the crowd erupts a little bit after a made free throw by Quinera Montague. She misses the the last one there off back iron. So a 2-point lead for State. Harmon with it in the offensive end for Texas. She will get the offense set like she's done pretty much all night. Screen from Booker. Harmon stops at the top of the key, looking to pass it over. She gets it to Booker. Now they kick corner. Now back to Harmon. Harmon at the top of the key. Moves it over to Winnentonda. She'll drive inside the lane. Gets it to go, and a foul to go with it. Winnentonda has been the player tonight for Texas. If you had a player of the game so far for Texas, it has been Winnentonda. A fantastic shot right there, and she is cooking tonight. That's 14 points for her.
She has been beautiful tonight, and now we're tied 39-39. She's got a chance to go up one and have the lead.
She makes the free throw and does just that. So 40-39 Texas. This thing back and forth here at the Humphrey Coliseum. Destiny McFall will bring it up the floor for Mississippi State. Now she'll drive inside the lane, goes up, fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2 as she missed the layup.
I wish she would have made that. I had a really good Destiny McFall pun prepared, but I couldn't do it, and now I have to wait until she makes her next basket.
You know what? That is a shame that she missed the shot.
I know. Now I got to wait till the next field.
Let's hope that she makes a shot from the field.
Free throws don't count.
Free throws don't count. Well, let's hope she makes a shot from the field sometime soon in this game so you can unleash the pun on our audience here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
I hope they're enjoying it. I mean, when I color commentate, I try to be more of an entertainer because you're doing just a fantastic job calling the game tonight.
Well, I appreciate it. You're doing a good job color commentating and entertaining this our audience. But McFall makes both 41-40. Meanwhile, State with a steal on the defensive end. Jordan got the steal. She'll bring it up the floor. So State, chance to extend the lead. Deep right wing, Jordan loses it. Got knocked away, and she'll get the basketball, though. Gives it to McFall. Stops on Booker. Now she'll drive on Booker. Goes up with the left hand. Has it blocked? No, a foul. And Booker does not agree with that call at all. Neither does Vic Schaefer. But it will be, excuse me, Connor, it will be a foul, and Destiny McFall going to go to the line for 2, a chance to make it a 3-point game.
That's fine. I just had a question. Did you know what Destiny just did on that play?
What'd you do?
She McFell.
All right, there it is. I hope our audience is happy with that one. We got the Destiny McFall pun. Shot good from McFall. She's now 3 for 3 at the line. All of her points have come from the line tonight. 10 minutes played for her on the evening. She makes both. 43-40 Mississippi State. Medina Okot will check back into the game, replacing Montague. She played a good couple of minutes right there. Okot going to have to be careful with 3 fouls. Jordan also in the game with 3. Those two going to have to be careful for State because they're vital to the Bulldog lineup. Harmon with the offensive end for Texas. Get it over to Winnentonda. Now inside. They're going to go to work on Okot, and the shot up and good. Jones in the post. Got it to go. 43-42.
Jones just Okot.
Interesting here. Texas backs off the press, so fairly easy for State to bring it up. McFall looking inside. She'll turn it over again. Her 3rd turnover. She was trying to get it into Okot. Now Booker has it in the offensive end. She gets it inside. Now they get it back out to Booker. Booker will drive. Shot at the SEC logo. Good. She's not going to miss those.
That's the Booker we know and love.
So a small 4-0 lead or 4-0 run for Texas. It's 44-43 Longhorns. And Aya Russell with it at the top of the key. She's driving on Booker. Dumps it inside to Okot. The ball, or tried to dump it inside to Okot. The ball was knocked out by Texas, so it'll stay on this end, or in this end, rather. Chandler Prater going to check in the game. She's going to replace Destiny McFall.
The efficiency of Texas offense right now, they're 3 of their last 3 shots from the field. Let's see if State can take a little bit of that trend away and score here.
Jerkayla Jordan also going to check out of the game as well. They inbound it to Prater, guarded by Booker. She thought about a shot, but instead dribbles to the right elbow, puts up a shot that just doesn't fall, and a foul on the floor is going to be on Texas. It's going to be a rebounding foul on the Longhorns. Have to see who that is on. I think that was on Jones. Yeah, that was on Taylor Jones. That's the team's 5th foul. So Medina Okot going to be at the line now, and State will be at the line for the remaining 2:15 in this quarter.
Hey, Ty, what's a 5-letter word that starts with B?
I don't know.
Bonus. Mississippi State's in the bonus right now.
Now we got trivia going.
Sorry.
Medina Okot, just misses that one. Went in and out. And so hope Okot can nail the second one. She does just that and ties the game at 44. Jones checked out of the game for Texas. She now has 3 fouls. Oldacre now back into the ball game, has only played a couple minutes, 10 minutes in the ball game for Texas. She's in as the big down low for the Horns. Harmon with it, the offensive end. She gets a screen from Winantanda. Now she'll kick it over to Winantanda. Now back to Harmon, right wing, guarded by Jordan. And a right wing fading shot, or short corner fading shot, no good. Rebounded, though, by Oldacre. She'll go up, and she's fouled by Medina Okot. That's her 4th foul. Smart job there, both by Harmon to go up with that shot and, see if Jerkayla Jordan would foul her, because that's who she was driving on. And then the miss and the Oldacre rebound led to Oldacre being smart, going up on Medina Okot and drawing a foul. It's 4th personal foul for Medina, and she'll check out of the game, and Montague will come back in.
They're going to try to continue to take those 2 stars out the game for Mississippi State.
Oldacre's shot is good. 1-point lead for Texas. I mean, they've done just that. Okot really hasn't been able to play any valuable minutes in this second half. So 46-44. Texas still backing off the press. Maybe thinking that setting up their defense before, or being able to set up their defense rather than being dispersed from the full court press would do better for them on the defensive end. 15 on the shot clock. DeShields has it deep left wing. Now she's at the top of the key. Going to get a screen from Montague. Looking over to now Anaya Russell. 8 on the shot clock. Russell going to drive. Left side short corner. Goes up with it. No good. Rebound obtained by Texas. It was a great play by Winantanda, who blocked it and got the rebound. Booker taking it up the floor now. Chance for Texas to extend this lead. Now to Booker. Booker gets it over to Holly. Holly gets it to Winantanda. Her short corner shot no good. Rebound to Nia Russell. Big stop there for State. 46-44 Texas. Jordan within the offensive end. Now to Russell. Russell going to drive. Goes up with it. A wild layup no good. Followed by Montague is good. And State has tied the game now under a minute to play in the third quarter.
The center play this game has been fantastic.
Harmon has it for Texas. Now to Booker. Booker with 7 points tonight. Back to Harmon. Now to Winantanda. She's been the girl tonight for Texas. She goes up. No good. Good defense by Montague as she stood tall. And State has the basketball. About an 8-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Maybe 8.5 seconds. So State looks like they're going to take this down. 20 seconds on the game clock. Now 10 on the shot clock. Now State will go with their offense. Jordan has it. Sizing up Holly. Jordan stops with the basketball. Fade. Shot up. Good. It swishes through. What a shot. Jerkayla Jordan. 48-46. 5 seconds on the clock. Tough defense from Prater. Texas is going to get a shot up. It'll be from half court, and it falls. Oh, my gosh. Just when you think things are good, Rory Harmon hits a half-court shot. It counts for 3 points, and Texas takes the lead going into the fourth quarter.
You can't slack up on defense. Just because you see 2 seconds left on the clock, that doesn't mean it's triple zeros. You play until the buzzer.
I don't think we really slacked up. At least Chandler Prater didn't slack up on defense. She was guarding her heavy on the inbound. Kind of got beat right there. Kind of got beat right there, and oh my gosh. I mean, that was a great shot by Jerkayla Jordan to end the third quarter for Mississippi State. You think you go into the quarter with a whole lot of momentum, and it's Texas that comes out with more momentum as Harmon nails a half quarter. Goodness gracious. And, before that, she hadn't scored as much. She's only got 5 points tonight. Before the half quarter, she only had 5 points. Now with 8. So she hadn't really been much of an offensive threat tonight as it goes with scoring, but she nails one from golly, nails one from half court.
Well, she's been a pretty good facilitator. She has 4 assists and 4 rebounds.
Yeah, she's been good.
That's a nice little thing.
Yeah, she's been good with that, but just from the scoring standpoint of things, hasn't really been as much of a scoring threat tonight for Texas, but she was right there with that half-court shot.
I mean, you just hate to see it. You have such a great shot by Jerkayla Jordan. She's fading away. It's beautiful. I could say so many things about that shot, but all of it becomes obsolete when you let somebody blow past you and chuck up a half-court shot.
So that quarter scoring breakdown, it was 23 points from Texas that quarter, 21 from Mississippi State. A back-and-forth quarter between both teams, and Texas comes out with the lead after the end of the third. What does State have to do in this fourth quarter, Connor, to shock the women's college basketball world and come out with an upset over number 1?
You're looking at a turnover battle that you are winning. You have to continue to win. You cannot slack up on these turnovers. It's 10 turnovers for Texas, 9 for Mississippi State, and I promise you those turnovers count because guess what? If Texas were to get a turnover off Mississippi State and get a second chance point, they're going to be up higher than they were before, and State's going to have to try a little bit harder to close that gap. But right now it's only a 1-point lead. It's very, very easy to come back from this. I mean, all you got to do is go down the court once, play a great offensive drive one time, and you get a shot up and get up on Texas. You have to keep the turnovers from Texas. If I see one more over 9, if I see it get in the double digits, we're going to be in some deep water.
I tell you what, I mean, the thing with turnovers and keeping the ball and not turning it over is big because State, in the first half didn't shoot as well. Neither did Texas. But State has shot it at a 54% clip in the second half from the field, and Texas has shot it at a 47% clip. Both teams are shooting it really well in this second half, and it's important. Each possession matters so much, and that's exactly what you were saying right there with the whole turnover ordeal. The breakdown of it is each possession is crucial in this ball game right now.
But we talked about the head coaches earlier. They went into that locker room halftime, Ty, and they said, look, this is what's going to have to happen. And these two teams have executed perfectly on what these head coaches have been coaching tonight.
Texas gets the ball out of the quarter break. It's Harmon with it, who just hit that big-time half-court shot to give Texas the lead going into the fourth quarter. They get it inside, or try to, and Montague steals it. She's played really good minutes tonight for State off the bench. DeShields has it for MSU, trailing the game by 1. 49-48 Longhorns. DeShields still with it, driving the right side, goes up with it. Shot up, no good. Ball is going to be out on Texas. A couple of Bulldogs going for it, mainly Oldacre going for it, trying to get the rebound. She couldn't quite hold on to it. The ball's out on her.
A lot of bodies hit the floor. We're seeing them kind of scrub that oil off that court so them little pink slippers can't slip.
Baseline inbound from DeShields. State having trouble getting it in. DeShields will float it to Jordan. Jordan's got a lane. She'll drive. Shot up. Oh, man, she missed the wide-open layup. No good. A missed opportunity there for State. Texas pushes up the floor. Now to Booker on the right wing. Now in the corner to Holly. Holly's 3 up. No good. Rebound Madison Booker. She's got a wide-open lane, and the putback is good. Got to box out if you're Mississippi State. 3-point lead for Texas. Denham DeShields with the basketball. 20 seconds on the shot clock, just under 9 minutes to play in the ball game. Chandler Prater with a lane. Misses the lefty layup, no good. Ball is out on Texas. I really think that should have been a foul on Oldacre. I mean, she completely ran over Chandler Prater.
Oldacre looked like an offensive lineman just running like a block to cut a gap, and it just looked nasty. It looked nasty.
So State going to get the inbound as it was off Oldacre. Jordan catches the inbound from DeShields. She loses the basketball, but Anaya Russell comes up with it. Right wing for Anaya Russell. 10 on the shot clock. Russell driving. Tough layup. No good. Ball knocked around. Rebound Mississippi State. Anaya Russell comes up with it. Now to Denham DeShields. Feel like State needs a big shot right here. Shot up from DeShields, no good. She gets her own rebound. Misses the putback layup. A couple of bunnies have been missed by Mississippi State offensively. And Texas with a chance to push it. Push the lead out. 4 points is their largest lead tonight. If they get a bucket here, that would be their largest lead. Harmon with it. Now to Holly at the top of the key. Winentana now inside to Oldacre. Now to Harmon. Harmon a fading shot. Good. Texas has started the quarter hot. 53-48. Texas's largest lead of the night. Denham DeShields brings it up for Mississippi State. Crucial point feels like in the ball game for the Bulldogs. Hand off to Anaya Russell. Now hand off to Jerkayla Jordan on the left wing. Montague going to give a screen. Jordan will try a three-pointer and it falls. My gosh, what a huge shot from Jerkayla Jordan. That was a long three, too.
Man, I love the number 2, but that number 3 looked a little bit better off her fingers.
53-51 Texas. Harmon with it on the right wing, guarded by Jordan. Now to Booker. Booker deep top of the key. Now to Harmon. Now they get it to Winentana. Now inside to Oldacre. Oldacre goes up on Montague. Her shot no good. Ball being fought for. Oldacre with a rebound, and they call a foul, and Oldacre will go to the line to shoot 2.
We saw how good Oldacre was behind that charity stripe earlier. I'm going to try to announcer's jinx it. Let's play a little bit of reverse psychology.
Well, when you talk about it, then it's going to counter itself.
No. This is it. She's going to make both of these.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope that works. I hope
Reverse
that works.
psychology,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
announcer's jinx.
Yeah.
Watch this. Let's see if she makes both
Well,
of these.
she's a 71% free throw shooter on the year. and
71 ain't 100, Ty.
She's 2 for 2 on the evening. Now she makes the first. Got the friendly roll right there.
Hey, I got the bounce.
Oldacre, a transfer from University of Miami down in Coral Gables. She misses the second one. And a foul on the floor. That one going to be on Madison Booker. A shove on the rebound. It's Booker's 3rd foul.
I told you 71 wasn't 100. She missed the second one.
As she did. So a 3-point game. Texas with the lead. 7:09 to play. 54-51. DeShields with it on the left elbow. Now she'll kick it to Kayla Thomas, who has just checked in for Montague. Thomas trying to hand it off to a guard. Gets it to DeShields. DeShields on the left wing. Looking to Jordan, who's posting up Harmon. Jordan with a tough shot. Gets it to fall. The right hand. Wow. What a shot. Sam Purcell telling this crowd to liven up here at the Hump. It's been rowdy tonight and wants them even louder. 1-point game. 6.5 to play. Harmon with it, kicks it all the way to the corner to Holly. She's been big from 3 tonight, and she nails one for Texas and silences the crowd for State. Man, that hurts. Got to close out on her better from 3. DeShields with it, a 4-point Texas lead. She'll drive to the rack, gives it to Kayla Thomas. Avoids Oldacre and gets the shot to go. State going toe-to-toe with the Longhorns. 57-55, creeping up on 6 minutes to play in the game. Harmon with it, top of the key. Under 6 minutes now. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Big Schaefer barking out signals to his offense. Texas on the ropes here at Mississippi State. Good play by Harmon. She drew the defense right off of Oldacre, and Oldacre had a wide open layup with the left hand. Back to a 4-point lead for Texas. Texas 4 of their last 5 from the field now. State 3 of their last 3. McFall gets a couple screens. Driving on the left side on Madison Booker. Shot no good. Pretty good defense there by Booker. Just stayed straight up. And a screen by Oldacre at half court. State fans didn't like it. I thought it was clean. Shot attempt by Booker is blocked out of bounds by Kayla Thomas, and it'll stay with Texas. I thought that was a clean screen there at half court. Definitely wasn't illegal. I mean, she just stood her ground there, didn't move.
No, it was clean, and there's a reason Oldacre ain't just a regular number 0. She's a double 0. She's a big girl out there, and she's going to set them screens. She's going to take her size to her advantage.
A timeout on the floor for the moment. I believe that is a Mississippi State timeout that will be taken. Yeah, the Mississippi State timeout also turns into a media timeout. So we're pretty close to the under 5 here. So they'll just go ahead and take it. But 59-55 is the score. Texas has outscored State by 3 this quarter, 10-7. And I tell you what, Holly has been big tonight. She's got 3 threes. I might have said she's got 4 threes earlier, but she's got 3 threes tonight. You know, a lot of her shots have been, it feels like it just, times where State has a chance maybe to gather some momentum. Texas just takes the chance for State to gather momentum, and Holly's shots just take it right out of the hands of State.
And you know who used to do that for Mississippi State back in the day? Blair Schaefer. Blair Schaefer's teaching these lady Longhorns a thing or two. Holly's going out there. She's shooting 3 for 5 behind the arc, and she's looking dang good. I mean, Blair Schaefer's taught her the best teaching the best, and I love to see it. I love to see it, but I hate to see the Bulldogs down.
Yeah, I mean, she's been big. Definitely, hopefully, talking about that in the huddle, too. I mean, you got to close out on her better, especially in the corner, because that seems like it's her spot. And I believe all of her threes, except for one. She's made 3 threes tonight. 1 3 was from the top of the key. The other 2 were in the corner. It feels like the corner is her sweet spot. Holly has been big tonight. She's shooting 28% from 3 this year. So not as great, but she's 60% tonight. Definitely weird to see her shooting as well tonight, especially shooting 28% from 3 on the year.
The amount of times I've just wanted to yell, corner 3 from up here, it's just, I'd love to see a Bulldog do it so I can yell it, because I feel like if I yell it for them, it's not going to make the same feeling, you know? I just got to see, like, I want Debrecia Poe. She hasn't played as much in this fourth quarter. I don't know if she's come in at all. The last time she's came in was probably early third quarter. I'm trying to see a Debrecia Poe 3 so I can yell, preach Debrecia.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be big for her to come in. She's played 2 minutes in this quarter. Yeah, she's played 2 minutes in this quarter. She really needs to, it'd be big to get her open and get her in momentum for a 3. She's hit 2 tonight that have been catch and shoot in momentum, and those 3s have come at really good times for Mississippi State. That Jerkayla Jordan 3 was a long 3, and it came at a really good time for State. Texas pushed it all the way out to 5, and that was Texas's largest lead of the game at that point. But State answered with the 3 and then cut it back to 2. So, that 3 came in clutch. But I think, if State can get hot, they're 4 of 7 tonight from 3, 57%. Texas pretty good as well. I mean, 46% from 3, so almost half of their 3s have gone down. If State, though, can get hot and from 3 and then on the defensive end close out at the 3-point line, I think they might have a better shot and might have a chance to upset the number 1 Longhorns. Harmon going to inbound it to Holly, who's been hot from 3. We talked about her. Muinantana now has it. Now they give it to Harmon at the top of the key. She'll set up the offense with 12 to go on the shot clock. Looks like Muinantana may give a screen to the right of Harmon. She does. Harmon takes it. Now she'll pass it back to Muinantana. 5 on the shot clock. Harmon now with the basketball. 3, driving. A tough mid-range shot, no good. Ball knocked out. See who it'll be out on. It's out on Texas. Holly didn't go for it. Now they're going to have both referees are going to talk about it. I think they're going to give it to Texas, and they will. They will give it to Texas. I mean, that looked close.
I can't tell. I'd love to see another shot at this right here. Well, of course they didn't show it.
Yeah, that really didn't give us a good angle.
No, they just showed it going out. They didn't show who touched it last. Come on, replay. They need you on the booth. Come on now. That's what you did last night. Get on the booth over there and play some replays, dang it.
Well, they go with a media timeout right now. Now, they can't review this. It's not going to be, I don't believe it's able to be reviewed.
I don't believe.
Yeah, no, they're obvious. You can't review it. I believe it's in the last. It's should be in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter where you can review it. And referees getting some boos here from the MSU faithful. It definitely looked close. To be honest with you, I couldn't really tell. if who it was out on. They said it was Texas and then came in, overturned the call. So
I think it was because they shot that shot. It looked like it just bounced off the rim. I don't think anyone touched it. They tried to go for it. I just think it went off the rim right out of bounds. And I think because of that, Texas was the last one to touch it. Now, I could be wrong, but based on my memory, it's not very good. It's probably like Dory-like from Finding Nemo. But as best as I can remember, I think it's Mississippi State basketball.
I would hope, or I wish that it was State basketball, but it is going to stay with Texas, and that could turn out to be big as State had a chance there to get the ball back. But now Texas will have the ball back and a chance to push the lead out to 6, maybe 7. Maybe 5 again if they just make a free throwing if they get to the line. But Texas with the chance again to push the lead out as they will have the ball when we come back from a little break. It is Mississippi State trailing the number 1 Texas Longhorns 59-55 with 4:58 to play in the fourth quarter. You're listening to Mississippi State basketball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
Who let the dogs out? 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 Who let the dogs out?
Well, the party was nice, the party was pumping.
Hey, yeah. B-I-O.
And everybody having a ball.
Hey, hey. B-I-O.
Until the fellas start the name calling.
B-I-O.
And the girls respond to the call. I hear a poor one shout out.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
I see the dance people had a ball cause Billy Fountains get out. Get back, Gruffy, bash Gruffy, get back, you flea infested mongrel. Gonna tell myself I man no get angry.
Hey, yeah. B-I-O.
280 cows calling them K9. Hey,
B-I-O.
but they tell me, hey man, it's part of the party.
Back here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Like I said before we took the break, 59-55. Texas leads Mississippi State 4:58 to play in the ball game. State looking to shock the world here and beat number 1 overall. Texas would be the first. It would be the first AP number 1 upset for State since they beat UConn in the Final Four with Vic Schaefer.
Snapped that 111-game winning streak, Ty.
Harmon with it on the right wing, 12 on the shot clock, guarded by Jerkayla Jordan. Harmon still with it, dribbling with her left hand all the way to the left side. Now gives it to Lee. Lee at the top of the key, 3 on the shot clock, guarded by Poe. Good defense by Jordan. They call a foul, a whistle, and that was really late. But it's going to go on Jordan to reach in.
That's her 4th time.
And it's her 4th foul. Yeah, good point right there. Her 4th foul. We'll look at it. I can't really tell from the angle we get on the replay. It's a fine replay. Just can't really tell from that angle. So I guess she clipped her on the wrist. So another fresh 20 for Texas. They'll get the inbound. A shot good by Holly. A fading mid-range shot off the inbound. And it's a 6-point lead, the largest lead for Texas tonight.
They actually called the foul on DeBrisha, so Jerkayla Jordan was not credited a foul.
Well, that's good then. It keeps Jerkayla at 3. Poe has the basketball now down to Montague. 12 on the shot clock for State. A big offensive possession in the ball game for the Bulldogs. Now 10. Montague trying to go to work on Oldacre. She gets down to the block, is fouled, and she'll go to the line to try and convert with 2 free throws. 4:10 to go in the game.
I thought I was watching some guard play for a second with Montague right there. I mean, she was getting down and dirty from the perimeter down to the underneath the rim, and then she drew a foul. That's what you love to see.
She did a really good job there. Handling the basketball for a big. Yeah, you're right. It definitely was pretty impressive. Madison Booker is going to check into the game. She's got 9 points tonight, the star for the Longhorns. Montague makes the first free throw, ends a scoring drought of 2 minutes for Mississippi State. Don't need any more of those scoring droughts at this point in the ball game. Texas just hanging in there here on the road at the hump. Montague misses the second. Big miss free throw. It's a 5-point game. Texas will bring it up the floor. Big-time defensive defensive possession for Mississippi State. Harmon with it. Dribbles to her right. Kick it to Booker. Now corner. Holly. Will she hit it? She will. I mean, she's been big all night. And you're going to look back at this game. The State can't win it. And it's going to be Holly's threes at clutch moments were huge for Texas.
She now leads Texas with 16 points.
DeShields has the basketball. Screen from Poe. DeShields with it, right wing. See if State's got a little bit of fight left in them. 10 on the shot clock. DeShields kicks it corner. Jacayla Jordan, 3-ball up, short. Rebounded by Texas. And so Booker's going to take it up the floor. Real big chance for Texas here if they can score and get it to a double-digit ball game. Just over 3 minutes to play. 64-56 Longhorns. Screen. That was a very physical screen. They kick it all the way to Booker. Her shot long. Ball saved by Oldacre, but she threw it right to Mississippi State. So State with a chance here. Really need a shot to fall. No field goals in the last 3.5 minutes for the Bulldogs. We'll kick it to Poe. Poe, a three in the corner. No good. Rebound, Jacayla Jordan. She's knocked onto the ground. No foul called. And a foul, they'll call a foul on Madison Booker, or excuse me, on Chandler Prater. She fouled Madison Booker, taking it up the floor. Things starting to unfold, not the way Mississippi State wants it here late in the ball game.
Kayla Jordan hit that ground pretty hard. I mean, it wasn't McFall hard, but it was pretty hard, and I need your Kayla Jordan to do something. Mocott's checking in, and she's got 4 fouls to her name, Ty.
Booker looking to inbound it. State with some pressure on the inbound. They get it in. Harmon with it. Now on the offensive end for Texas. Hands it to Booker. Booker with some defensive pressure. And now she'll pass it over to Harmon on the right wing. Texas running some clock. Now kicks it all the way to the top. Booker will run some more clock. 6 on the shot clock. Booker dribbles the top of the key. Now dribbles looking to drive. Wide open layup. 10-point game. Feels like that might be it. Ball knocked out of bounds. It is off of Madison Booker. State tried to pass it down the floor. And so State will have an inbound on the timeline right beside the MSU bench.
I mean, I've seen some miracles happen, and maybe Starkville's needing a miracle.
Inbound to Anaya Russell is going to result in a layup. It was just kind of a heave thrown from McFall, and she got it to Russell inside the paint, so State cuts it back to 8. Under 2 minutes now to play in the game. Harmon dribbling the basketball. McFall pressuring her. Now Harmon dribbling close to the paint. Crosses over. McFall really pressuring the basketball. Harmon trying to draw a foul. She couldn't. State gets the rebound. Dribbling down the floor now. Kicks it. Corner. Big shot here for Jacayla Jordan. It falls. State right back in the game. 5-point game. Minute 34 to play. Timeout Sam Purcell.
Jacayla Jordan, baby, from the 3. It's a 5-point game. Texas is up 66-61. If there is any ounce of desperation left for Mississippi State, they got to take advantage of the momentum, and it's all white out here in Humphrey Coliseum. The energy, you can feel it. You can feel the joy. You can feel the juice. You can feel the jelly, Ty. Let's go Bulldogs.
66-61, minute 34 to play. That was a Mississippi State timeout. State has 1 timeout left in the game. Texas still has 4. It'll be interesting to see what State does guarding Texas in the backcourt. See if State brings some pressure, which I assume they probably would. 5-point game. That was a huge shot from Jacayla Jordan to cut the lead to 5 for the number 1 Longhorns. So State going to bring some pressure here. It's going to be Winnetonda inbounding the basketball. She gets it in. They're going to trap Booker in the corner here close to us. See if they get it past half court. They do. So Harmon gets it past half court. And she'll dribble, run some clock. We'll see if State decides to foul. It might be a little early for that. They won't think about it right now. Booker has the basketball about a step from the half-court line. 10 on the shot clock. Texas is running clock. This is a huge possession here for both teams. Booker driving, shot up, no good. Ball is rebounded by Winantana. She goes up, shot no good, rebounded by State. And a foul called, I believe, on Texas on the floor. Yes, on Texas on the floor. I think that's on 00 Oldacre. And State is going to have the basketball now. Down 5, a chance to cut this lead to 1 possession.
Booker has to be careful here. She hasn't been the woman of the night, but she has to be careful. She has 4 fouls on the night. One more foul could take her to the bench, and that might be a bad thing for Texas.
So McFall brings it up the floor. Now 1 minute to play in the game. McFall looking for somebody to pass it to. Gets it to Poe. Now to Jordan. Jordan all the way over to Anaya Russell. State taking up some clock here. Russell drives left side short corner. She'll back it out. 13 on the shot clock now. 40-something on the game clock. Shot no good. It was blocked. That is a big block for Texas. Here comes Madison Booker down the floor. She'll slow the pace. Texas is going to run some clock. State has to foul. She turns it over. I think Harmon turns the ball over. State with a chance here. They got to go quick, though. That should have been a foul. No foul called, but they get it to Jacayla Jordan. She gets a 3 up, short. No good. Rebound, Texas. State fouls Harmon. And so a lot happened in that little bit of time right there. But the consensus of it is Texas a 5-point lead with 20 seconds to go, 20.4 to be exact, and here pretty soon, Texas is going to end up going to the line. State with 4 team fouls, so not quite in the bonus yet as Texas. So this next team foul send Texas to the line, then State has to hope for at least a miss, and then they got to get a quick shot up. Booker is going to inbound the ball, and she'll get it to Winantana. Now Booker. They got a foul. State has got to foul. There's 15 seconds on the clock. That now a foul by Jacayla Jordan. That is Jacayla Jordan's 5th foul. I think it was on Jordan. Actually, no. I think it's going to be on Debrecia Poe. It's on Debrecia Poe. So that saves Jacayla Jordan from getting fouled out of the ball game.
I don't know why she didn't foul earlier. I mean,
yeah, no, we were
took
just
about 7 seconds off the clock.
I don't know. We were just seemed like Poe was just trying to play defense, but the shot clock's off. You got to foul in that situation. Booker at the line misses the first, so game is still going to stay at a 2-possession ball game. At the very least, it'll be very most rather, it'll be a 6-point lead for Texas. Shot made by Booker. State going to call a timeout. This will advance it. So when we come back from the timeout, State will inbound the ball on their end for the offense.
What do you think Sam Purcell's telling them in the huddle right now? How do you think Sam Purcell's going to use this next 13 seconds left of the ball game?
Well, you don't have a lot of time, so you got to be quick. But I say that's A. A is get the daggum inbound in. That's the number one thing, especially because you don't have a timeout. So you don't have a timeout. If you get a 5-second violation, the game's over. So get the inbound in. Have something quick, either a quick, like a ultra quick 2 or a quick 3 within like 4 seconds, and then you have to, bring the press and foul immediately if you don't get a steal off the inbound. But go ahead.
Who's taking the 3 ball? You giving it to Debrecia Poe? You giving it to Jacayla Jordan? Who you giving it to?
You look for either one of them for sure. I think you definitely look to get it to one of them and hope that they can make a miracle shot here. State has fought valiantly tonight, but it's been Texas who's had the big fourth quarter, outscoring State by 5, and it feels like ever since that half-court shot by Roy Harmon to end the third quarter, the momentum's changed. State gets the inbound in to Jacayla Jordan. The ball is thrown off the hands of Holly, and so with exactly 10 seconds to go on the game clock, State is going to inbound it pretty much from the corner. Now, it'll be on the baseline, but they'll inbound it from kind of the corner here. Tough angle for an inbound. The Shields inbounds it to Jordan. Jordan with a 3. It's up. No good. Ball rebounded by Poe. She's got to put one up. It's good. 3.7 seconds on the clock. State has got to foul if they don't get a steal.
Press, baby.
Got a foul now, and they foul Oldacre in the corner with 2.5 seconds to play. So if Oldacre makes one free throw here, you can pretty much book it. This game is over. If Oldacre misses both, what hurts is you don't have a timeout to advance it, because that would be huge. You would get the rebound, hopefully, and then call a timeout, advance the ball, and have about 2 seconds to draw up a play for a 3 to win the game. But you don't have that, and you still have to count on Oldacre to miss the first one. If Oldacre nails this one, it'll be a Texas win. Her shot is no good. There's still a chance for Mississippi State. But they have got to move quick if they get this if they get a miss and a rebound. Oldacre makes it, and that is probably going to be your ball game. 68-64 with 2.5 seconds to play in the game. Prater going to check out. Anaya Russell going to check in. DeShields going to inbound it to Russell. 1 on the clock. It's a half-court heave from Anaya Russell. No good. Mississippi State falls to number 1 Texas. They fight valiantly, but they lose it 68-64. What a hard-fought game for Mississippi State. And they just come up empty-handed at the end. You work so hard, and you just can't quite come up with the win.
You talk about winning the turnover battle, and that's been the story for today. We've really harped on the turnover, and you did really well today. You only had 10 turnovers compared to 25 versus Florida. Texas had 12, so you won that battle. But then you let the rebound battle get a little bit out of hand. We only saw a couple rebounds different when we were at halftime. The third quarter wasn't much different, and now you end the game. 39 rebounds for Texas, 33 for State. Texas had 20 of their rebounds. Just over half of them were offensive rebounds. I mean, you got to talk about the second chance points here. They had 13. I mean, it wasn't the highest scoring of games, but 13 is a lot for a game this close.
Yeah, for sure. Talked about the rebounds. The offensive rebounds for Texas, they out-rebounded us by 4, 20-16. They had 13 second chance points. Still, State had 14, so they ended up having more. But, the offensive rebounds by Texas giving them some more opportunities was huge in that ball game right there. And a game that is lost by, 2 possessions. I mean, those are huge for Mississippi State in terms of trying to win the game, and State, fell short in this one. Crowd that's still here kind of giving some applause to the Bulldog team, kind of walking around the floor. It's the last home game of the year. It was certainly, for basketball fans everywhere, it was certainly a good one.
I don't know about you, Ty, but is there any feeling you had tonight, a little bit of nostalgia maybe, whenever we got to witness probably some of the best, if not the best, women's basketball in Mississippi State history with Vic Schaefer here? I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding his departure from Mississippi State, but at one point you just got to realize, hey, the man did a lot for the program. He built it the best he could. He made a couple national championship appearances. That's most anybody can say in this program's history. Did you feel any bit of that nostalgia, that excitement you got when you were back in grade school watching Mississippi State women's basketball on your TV?
Well, I for sure did. This crowd was into it tonight. I mean, it was a very, very active crowd. And it was a great game from both teams, and it was fun to watch. But you talk about the Vic Schaefer nostalgia, and there's a lot of stuff, that came out after he left that, he is denied, and I'm not going to get on all that. I'm not worried about that. I think he did great for Mississippi State women's basketball, but most importantly, he did great things for Mississippi State University and the city of Starkville. That's the thing that people should take away. And when he came out tonight, he didn't get booed. He got applauded, because these people here tonight realize that, and they know what a special person he is to Mississippi State University, and a special person he is to the city of Starkville. But, the nostalgia part of it, when he was over there, on the sideline, stomping his foot every time, it just, takes me back to when he was coaching for the Bulldogs and the Lady Dogs, back in the late 2010s. That was fun basketball to watch, and the environment every week was absolutely fantastic here. So, a lot of nostalgia tonight, definitely. And a lot of, but straight up, just great basketball tonight. State gave everything they had to Texas tonight. But the big thing is, we want to always talk about Mississippi State, but I have to tip my cap to Texas. This is a fantastic basketball team. It's a program that Vic Schaefer has built back up, and this is a really good basketball team. They're the number one team in the country for a reason. They are going to be a tough out in the SEC tournament and, most importantly, the NCAA tournament.
Now, I have a question for you. I mean, just a little bit before I like to tip my hat to Vic Schaefer as well. I just want to applaud him for what he's done for the city of Starkville. These fans, the people know that it's hard to bring a winning culture to a city that wasn't used to it. And when you bring a winning culture to some people that have never been experienced to it, they've never been exposed to it, they feel the type of emotion we're feeling right now. When he's back, it's a bittersweet homecoming for us to see him beat us 68-64. But you love to see him and Blair back in Starkville. But I have a question, Ty. We talk about popping that bubble, ensuring that we make this NCAA tournament. Basketball is a game of wins and losses. It's a game of chess. They take a lot into consideration before that March Madness bracket is formed. Do you think there's a good chance Mississippi State might have popped that bubble with the battle they fought today?
Well, they will stay on the bubble for sure, but this loss won't move them down. Even if you lost the game by 20 tonight, losing to the number one team in the country,
it's expected.
Even though it's at home, you're not going to be moved down for that. So there's nothing, shameful about this loss tonight at all. You played your heart out. You led Texas for a while. Texas had some leads. There were 15 lead changes in the game tonight. This game was back and forth from start to finish. So there's nothing that can hurt you. What you have to do if you're Mississippi State, you got one game left in the regular season. You got to go ahead and do you got to go and excuse me, I got a little distracted right there. You got to go and beat Auburn on the road. That is a win that you have to have. Cannot lose on the road to Auburn. You got to go beat Auburn on the road. It's the team that we beat by 40, I believe, here. Maybe not 40, but we beat really bad here at the Hump.
It was a nasty game for sure.
So you have to go and beat Auburn and maybe win a game in a tournament. But I think even if you go beat Auburn, I think you're into the tournament, and I think you'll be okay. But I think this loss, while it certainly, if you would have lost by 20, it certainly wouldn't have hurt you. Losing tonight by 4 like this and seeing how good this team can play, especially with the turnover thing that we talked about, 10 turnovers, seeing how good they can play when they don't turn it over, just playing at their best, there's a lot that this team can do when it comes to the NCAA tournament. I think this team could, if they play at their best, they could be a really, really tough out, just like Texas in the NCAA tournament. We're going to take a short little break, and we'll be back. We're going to do the post game here. We talked a lot there, me and Connor did. But we're just going to break down a little bit of stats and get Zach Sizemore's thoughts on the game as well. And we will be out of here. But that is the final women's basketball game of the year, and it goes down not the way State wanted. A tough, hard-fought game, but Mississippi State comes up short. They lose it to the number one team in the country, Texas, 68-64. We'll be back in just a moment for the post-game show. You're listening to Mississippi State basketball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
We MSU, and when that whistle blows,
the place to be. Since I was 19, you can find me, maroon and white tee. Stay grinding, you're not on my team. To get behind me and stay behind, you will play behind. Man, I'm in a Mississippi state of mind, and this state of mind ain't a greater time. Take a break in line and just take what's mine. It's an our state, our place, and you can see that it's written on our face. This is our break, our race, and if you ain't with it, get out of our way. Now stand up in your seat, sling a cowbell to the beat. Got 3-6 on my cheek, my boy MB gonna rest in peace.
We just left the bin and cowbell to the wind, and this maroon and white is blending like I'm Two-Face, Harvey Dent, and my friends up in the tent, and you know they Mississippi, and we coming for your heart. So before we start, gonna put a stint in. My state of mind is a place for these dime rhymes to mint in, and if you cross the line, that's the place that they're gonna be spent in. I'm looking at the Mississippi women in the district, got me grinning. You step up in the pen, man, you probably gon' get hit.
MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause
We up in Star Vegas, we got that bar, baby. And all ladies breaking hearts, they call it shark baiting. That identity, some crisis left you lifeless like your sparks. They need to decide who y'all move side, 'cause this state is ours, baby. Star crazy coming to pound, man, we drooling. You looking like a new kid in town, you gon' get bullied. You better draw back, bruh, we on the attack, bruh. We dogs of war, we coming forward, you can see that it's written on the dog tag.
And we ain't listening to what you think we gon' do, 'cause either way we coming for you. And it don't matter how we do, we gonna stay true.
'Cause that's true maroon and that's through and
Cause
through.
from that L-I-S-S-I. Now stay from the stand full of plate in my hand full of cheese fries. S-S-I. If they beat me, you know that we believe. Hit the street when we're ready, check me eat on the Yeti, you can see that we're reppin' S-T-A-T-E till we D-I-E. Every place that we step in, so rap that in maroon and white. We're gonna rule the night, we're gonna do the fight song all the way down Main and I ain't gonna make it back to maroon tonight. But wherever my head lands, long as that golden edge still stands behind that glass, I don't have to ask, know we at and who I am, we MSU.
And we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU.
Back here at the Humphrey Coliseum for the post-game show. It is Zach Sizemore and I, Ty Goldman, that will do this for you. Hate to do it in a little bit of a somber fashion, but we got to do what we got to do here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Texas comes out on top over Mississippi State in the final home game of the year for the Lady Bulldogs, 68-64. It was a hard-fought ball game by Mississippi State playing against the number one team in the country. Really nobody expects you to win this game, and nobody probably expected you to come out and play like you did, but Mississippi State played one heck of a game. Definitely can hang their hats on the effort that they put forth here on the floor tonight. We'll go over a little bit of the team stats, and then as far as, just teams as a whole, Mississippi State and Texas, and then we'll do some player stats later, and then we'll get Zach's thoughts on everything after that. But team comparison with statistics here. So Texas from the field shot 42%. Mississippi State shot 40%. 55 shots for State, 22 of them were made, 25 out of 60 for Texas. Texas was 50% from 3, 7 of 14. A lot of those came from Holly tonight. She was really good. State was 46%, 6 of 13 from the three-point line. 78% was State from the free throw line, 14 of 18. Texas was 69%, 11 of 16 from the free throw line. 12 turnovers for Texas tonight, only 10 for Mississippi State. And State usually wins ball games when they don't turn it over more than 15 times tonight. They just couldn't come up with the win, but good to see, State's potential playing without as many turnovers. State and Texas both had 10 points off turnovers. If we look at rebounds, that was a big part of the ball game, I feel, and I know Connor feels that way, and I'm sure Zach is feeling that way as well. 39 total rebounds for Texas, 33 for State. 19 defensive boards for Texas, 17 for Mississippi State. 20 offensive rebounds for the Horns, 16 for Mississippi State. 13 second chance points for Texas, 14 for the Bulldogs. 11 bench points for the Longhorns, 19 for the Bulldogs. 22 points in the paint for Texas, 30 for Mississippi State. 8 fast break points for State, 4 for Texas. 8 blocks for Texas, 5 for Mississippi State. 6 steals for Texas, 8 for Mississippi State. 15 assists for the Horns, 13 for the Dogs. The game was tied 8 times, and for 6 minutes and 20 seconds, we talked about this right before we took a little break, 15 lead changes in the ball game tonight. Texas led it for 19 minutes, 54 seconds. State led it for 13 minutes, 44 seconds. Zach, just want to get your overall thoughts on what you watched tonight, sitting over there in the producer chair. I tell you what, though, just from a statistical standpoint and watching the game, it certainly felt like it too. 15 lead changes. I mean, this game was back and forth. What are your overall thoughts on the game and that we watched tonight at the Humphrey Coliseum?
Well, I'd say the main thing, as you said, the lead changes. It was definitely a roller coaster of emotions for me sitting here out in the producer seat, and had a couple good laughs thanks to Connor. That man, he's a big jokester. But I'd say the main thing that stuck out to me was a veteran coaching move by Vic Schaefer. He started out in that trap and the full court press, and in the second half he backed away from that, especially probably about halfway through the third quarter. He realized State had figured a way around it. They were going to push the pace really fast, and they were able to get easy buckets. When he moved out, he allowed the defense to get set, and State had trouble figuring out how to balance and get around a set Texas defense who is phenomenal all season.
Yeah, for sure. It well said there. They have been one of the best in the country all season and probably the best in the Southeastern Conference all season. So, yeah, a good coaching move there by Schaefer. Definitely noticed that there in the third quarter, kind of moved away from the press and got their defense set, like you said, so that they could, gather themselves and not be in kind of a disarray when State got down the court. And it's tough to beat a set Texas defense for sure, and Coach Vic Schaefer really realized that. We'll look at some player stats in this ball game. First, we'll look at Texas. Texas had 4 Longhorns in double digits tonight. Harmon had 10. Holly had 16. She was the leading scorer for Texas tonight. Winnetanda, who was also big, had 15. And Booker, the star for Texas, had 12. Jones also had 4 tonight. Oldacre, who came in later in the game and played some big-time minutes for Texas, scored 6. Preston played 6 minutes but wasn't able to score. Lee had 5 points tonight for the Longhorns, 1-3. Holly hit most of those threes tonight for Texas, and Harmon hit 2 of them. Holly hit 4 threes tonight for Texas. It was 7 total threes hit on the ball game for the Longhorns. What did you think about the Texas players tonight? And then we'll get into what Mississippi State did.
We talked about this a bit during the halftime, and I'm going to harp on it again. The ball movement and off-ball movement by the players was phenomenal, just able to spread State's defense out. State really not able to get controlled, calm on the defensive side. There were times where it's like, oh, they're getting the hang of it, and then Texas would go and run some picks or set some really good screens, and State would kind of get out of control, a lot of chaos on the defensive side, able to lead to a bunch of wide-open threes from Hall. She had 4 threes tonight, as you said, 16 points, so when she's wide open, she's going to hit those.
Yeah, she had multiple open corner threes. Kind of failed to mention that's on me at any other stats. Got to mention the other stats too. We talked about Winnetanda had 15, and she also had 11 points. She racked up a double-double tonight. I mean, felt like she was everywhere on the floor for Texas. Harmon also had, she scored 10 but had 7 assists, and that's been, her A game this year. I mean, she has 173 assists on the season. That leads the team. I think that doubles up the next closest Longhorn on the team in assists. I mean, I think she's second all time in Texas history in assists. Like, she is, and it's not just assists, but when you look around, she does everything well for the Horns.
Yeah, she's really bought into that point guard position there for the Longhorns. So good job for her, and hopefully she'll have a good career.
Yeah, for sure. Looking at rebounds again, there's a lot of Longhorns that got rebounds. I mean, Oldacre had 6 in 22 minutes played. Jones had 7 in 18 minutes played. Booker had 5 tonight. Harmon even had 4 rebounds herself. So a lot of Longhorns were active on the stat sheet tonight. We'll look at Mississippi State and get Zach Stoltz from the Bulldogs' individual performances tonight. The Shields played 31 minutes. Didn't really get active scoring. Only had 2 points, but she had 4 assists to go with that. So just kind of was facilitating tonight. She brought the ball up a lot for MSU. Jerkayla Jordan led Mississippi State tonight with 14 points, 4 of 11 from the field, hit 2 threes that were big in the ball game, had 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Prater had 9. She was really good, I thought, in the first half for Mississippi State. Okot had 11, just couldn't really get going in the second half because she was in foul trouble for most of the half. Ended up with 4 fouls, just like her teammate Jerkayla Jordan did. Poe had 9. She had all of her points came on 3 balls. She had 3 big threes tonight for State. McFall had 4. She had a couple of hit all of her shots from the free throw line. Russell had 3 points, but really did well on the boards for State. Actually was tied for first on the team with rebounds with Montague. She had 6. Montague had 8 points tonight and 6 rebounds. She was really big when Okot couldn't play because of the foul trouble that she was in. And Kayla Thomas came in for a little while, had 4 points. Thought she did well tonight. So who stood out to you tonight, or what couple of Bulldogs stood out to you tonight on the floor?
Yeah, I'd say the 2 main that stood out was Prater. Chandler Prater, she, like you said, she had a quiet night last week against Texas A&M. Just not able to get much going on the offensive side. And then Montague. Montague hasn't really seen a lot of minutes over the past couple of weeks. Thomas has kind of taken that lead backup role, but it seemed tonight Montague matched up better with the Texas big, so she was able to come in 15 minutes, 8 points. If you take away that combined 17 points there by those 2 ladies, it would have been a disastrous defeat for the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right on that. Montague was huge. Prater was huge, but the big play behind Medina Okot, I think, is really what kept Mississippi State in the ball game. I mean, 22 minutes from your bigs off the bench, and they score a combined 12 points, 8 rebounds. I mean, they were really huge. They just played really good minutes for Mississippi State, and combined between the 2 of them, they only had 1 foul. So they didn't foul much. They played good defense. I thought Montague at a lot of times was strong in the paint defensively. She just went straight up with her hands and didn't lean in and cause any sort of foul. So yeah, I thought the bench bigs for State were huge tonight in keeping them in the ball game. Connor and I talked about this, the NCAA tournament. We talked about it, kind of gave our thoughts about it. Well, how do you think this affects State, with State being on the bubble right now? How do you think this loss tonight affects Mississippi State?
So heading into this game, I feel like majority of people besides State fans and the State team thought that Texas was going to come in here and just blow us out of the water. Even though Vic Schaefer was coming back for the first time since he's left, everybody was like, this Texas team is just too good. The Bulldogs won't be able to do anything. But losing by 4 to the number 1 team in the country, I don't think that does anything harmful to you. I think it does more positive than negative. And it'd be really wild and interesting to see the committee, punish the Bulldogs for a 4-point loss here to the number 1 team.
Yeah, that's well said there. That's what Connor and I think too. I mean, I don't think that losing by 4 to the number 1 team in the country should hurt you in a game where you were not favored and you were probably projected to win or lose by double digits, right? That's what Texas has done all season to teams that are not Mississippi State, but teams in the SEC. Even really good teams in the SEC, they've done this too, or they've blown out. So, State shouldn't get punished. I don't believe they will. Just I think the big thing is go do your job on Sunday and defeat Auburn. Any last closing thoughts from you, Zach?
Yeah, you said it perfectly. If you lost to a bigger margin against Texas here, I feel like you'd feel a lot more pressure to go out there and kill Auburn by 40 like you did earlier in the season. But, losing by 4 here, it takes a little bit of pressure, a little bit of weight off of your shoulders so you can go just have fun and have one last ride in the regular season as this team for the Lady Bulldogs.
Well said there from Zach. It was a fun night of calling basketball for all of us. Zach was sitting there producing, but able to come on for halftime and postgame. Appreciate Zach Sizemore for his time and his contributions tonight. Appreciate Connor Davis for his very funny puns tonight and his contributions as the color commentator gave some great insight tonight for us. And it was a pleasure calling this game tonight for our audience on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Always a pleasure to be able to call any Mississippi State athletic event, something we all want to do, in our careers, and something we've all wanted to, we never thought we would be able to do, but we're getting to do it. And it's a great opportunity. The Bulldog Student Sports Network is, and we were happy and glad to call this game tonight. Unfortunate that it didn't go the way the Maroon and White wanted it to, but you live to fight another day. So you got one more game, and you got the SEC tournament. And I think this team is really good. I think there's a lot of good things about this team. I think this team should certainly be in the NCAA tournament. So we'll see if State can do it, though. They got one game left. They play at Auburn, and then they will be heading to the SEC tournament. See where they can improve in terms of seeding for the NCAA tournament. But that is going to do it for us here tonight. For Zach Sizemore, our producer, Connor Davis, our color commentator, and I guess me, Ty Goldman, your play-by-play guy tonight, saying so long. It's Texas 68, Mississippi State 64. So long, have a great night, and Hail State.